up, my britches? If you're new here, hello, my name is Brittany, and today's video, it's all about the Sephora holiday savings event, and literally all of my recommendations, because when I typically do these videos, I shop very strategic. I shop certain brands, like if I can get them at Ulta, if I could get them at basically other retailers that I notice have sales as well. Sometimes I break up the brands, if that makes sense. So that's how I typically do these videos. And I'm like, all right, not everybody has access to all of these other retailers. Some people really just love shopping at Sephora. So I'm doing every single thing, at least everything that I could remember. I'm sure there's things that I'm going to forget, because if you could see how much stuff is in front of me right now, it's ridiculous. But I'm so hyped right now because, guys, this is all because you guys watch this hot ass mess. Today's video is sponsored by Sephora. Yes, bitch! Today is sponsored by Sephora. I'm so excited. I do these videos every single time there's a sale coming up. It's a whole thing. I did a what's in my cart yesterday. I did a Loves List Declutter. I did a top 25 gift sets. I love shopping at the Sephora VIB event or the holiday savings event. I feel like most people know it as the VIB event, but it's the holiday savings event, okay? So, I'm so excited. We need to calm the nerves. It's time to have a drink. Another recommendation. High noons, baby. Oh, yes. I see all the bitches coming in the live chat. What's good? What's poppin', everybody? Let's try the watermelon. I'm not going to bullshit for too long because, like I said, we got a lot of stuff to go through. So, yes, this video is in partnership with Sephora, but it is also in partnership with one of my favorite brands. Like I told you guys 2 years ago, I love this brand. I've been just talking about them every single time I get an opportunity. I've done several videos on this brand. So the first brand that we're going to talk about is out of order, but everything else is in alphabetical order by brand. So that's how I'm going to break everything down for you guys today. But before that, in case you have not seen the deets yet, because, I mean, I show this in, like, every single video lately. Rouge members, you can shop starting at, I think it's midnight Pacific Standard Time. That would be, like, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The sale starts technically tomorrow for Rouge members. So, the 5th through the 15th, use code YAYHOLIDAY if you're shopping online, or you can shop in store. VIB, 15% off, the 9th through the 15th. Beauty Insiders, the 10th. Or no, the 11th through the 15th. Code is the exact same, and the best part about this holiday savings event is it's, like, unlimited. Like, you could shop, it's not just, like, one purchase and that's it. You could shop multiple times. So if things come back in stock, like, make sure you're adding it into your loves list. But back to the brand that I have been telling you guys about for 2 fucking years now. Tower 28 is how we're going to kick off this baby. So Tower 28... I am always talking about them. And I'm like, all right, if you're going to shop Tower 28, Sephora is the best place to shop for them because, 1, rarely go on sale, and 2, Sephora is probably the most accessible retailer that they're through. So I'm going to start with my recommendations from Tower 28, and all of these are on my face right now. So I am so, like, tickled because I have never, y'all know if you watch my channel, I can never find, like, a tinted moisturizer, anything along those lines that I actually like. And then this came out. This is the Tower 28, the Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30. It's technically a tinted sunscreen. Oh my god. Like, if I wear makeup every single day, this is what, like, look at how good my skin looks. Like, this just looks natural. It's not over the top, like, it's the perfect amount of coverage. I could literally go on and on and on about this, but I'm just like, look at my face. And I love, like, my favorite thing about Tower 28 is they design their products to be ideal for sensitive skin. So all skin types, everybody can use this brand. And for, like, the products that they offer, they are inclusive with what they offer. So they have such an incredible tinted sunscreen, technically. I want to show you guys me applying this because I'm like, just look at, it's so angry. It's such a good product. And I was like, all right, if this wasn't Tower 28, I don't know if I would have even have entertained it, because I never ever like a tinted like sunscreen or anything like that. So I'm like, all right, it's Tower 28. Let me try it. And I'm so glad that I did. So it's like, it applies to me like exactly like a foundation. For me, this gives me, I'm going to say like medium coverage. I think the coverage on it is absolutely beautiful. But I'm just like, again, look at my face. This says it all. And it's like $30. They have like super cute shade names. I think they're named after like, basically like, what do you want to call it? Different points in California. It's just, I love this brand. I'm telling you, I've talked about them for so damn long, and I'm like, it's about time that people are hyping them up, because I feel like the next product gets the most hype of everything, and that's these cream blushes. Now, majority of this stuff was sent to me, but if you go back on my channel, like, I've done dedicated videos to all these things because I'm like, I love them. More people need to know about them. So this is the blush that's on my face right now. I'm wearing the shade After Hours. Gorgeous. But if I had to choose one, like, I know a lot of people love Magic Hour, which is probably the most, like, safe. It's not over the top. It's very natural looking. But I'm like, honestly, nothing has ever taken the place of Golden Hour. It's just the most perfect cream blush. I can't. Backchat Beauty, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh my god, you're like throwing me off, and I'm like, all right, I can make time for a super chat. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Britt. So happy for you, Boss Brit. Thank you guys so much. Don't, like, it's all because of you guys. Like, because you guys watch my videos, I'm just like, what? Me? So again, I'm wearing the shade because I said, I saw Venice ask what shade I was wearing. I'm wearing After Hours. It's beautiful. Like, if you guys want swatches on these, I'm pretty sure I dedicated a video to these. If I didn't, I'll swatch them on my Instagram or something. I filmed like snippets, but I didn't have time to edit them. But it's such a good product. And then second to that, I'm going to go with these Bronzino bronzers. I love these. For summertime especially, because they have such a beautiful like sheen to them. This is like something I'll just slap on my face if I'm going on like a boat day. So for this time of the year, it's not something that I would like go out of my way to get, if that makes sense. But that's where it's like, some people live in like Florida where it's summer all freaking year. So you might really love something like this. So I'm like, this is just stuff that I need to think about, like, when I'm doing recommendations videos. So the Bronzino bronzers, they're super blendable. They just have that gorgeous sheen to them. If you don't like a sheen in your bronzers, you probably won't like these, just because definitely has a sheen. But like the Super Dew is fantastic. It just gives you like that wet look to the skin. And then if I had to choose another favorite product, like, I'm telling you, I literally love everything that they do. But their glosses, especially the milky glosses, oh my god, they're so good. So the shade that I'm wearing today is Fearless. So it's like, when you look at it in like the actual packaging, it looks intense, but it's not. Like this formula, I'm just like putting everything in a box as I'm talking about it. So this formula, it's more of like a jelly type finish. I know I've swatched this several times on my channel. I believe when these came out, I actually did a dedicated video and swatched all these with like close-ups and stuff. They're just shiny, they're juicy, but they have almost like a gel texture to them. And they make your lips just look beautiful. Like, it's the shine for me, right? It's just absolutely beautiful. If you've tried these, and that goes for everything that we talked about today. Like, if you guys watching in the chat or in the comment section after, if you've tried these products, let us know your thoughts on them, because we're all nosy and we all want to know, okay? So, highly recommend. I know they have a gift set too of like the Chill Gloss and a new shade that's already like in the cart ready to go. I can't wait to get it because I need everything that they have. And like I said, they design their products to be ideal for sensitive skin. So it's like, if, I don't know, it's just in my opinion, anybody could use them. I love me some Tower 28. Y'all know this. And because I love them so much, they sent me a couple things. And I'm like, I already have these. Let me give back to you guys. So I'm going to do like a small little giveaway with the products that they sent me this time around. Like, they have this Daily SOS facial spray. This is fantastic if you have more like acne prone skin. So good. I've talked about all these so many times. Like, you all know by now, right? So I'm going to do a giveaway for this little package. I think there's what is it? Golden Hour's in here, Power Hour, West Coast Bronzer. That's my favorite of the Bronzino bronzers. The SOS Spray. And then you have Chill and Cashew lip glosses. Listen, share this video. There's no way for me to know if you share it, though. So all you have to do, follow me on Instagram, follow Tower28 on Instagram, and leave a comment of what your top recommendation is for the VIB sale. And the best way to contact you, like IG handle or something like that. That's what I typically do for my, like, giveaways and stuff. So yeah, follow us both on Instagram. Leave a comment down below of your top recommendation for the VIB sale and the best way to contact you or your IG handle. Just so I can make sure you're not, you know, playing me and not actually following me. Okay, so Tower28, I love you. Let's move on to the next one. Damn, 11 minutes of just me and Tower28. I live for it. So let's get into alphabetically. We're going to start with Artist Couture. My favorite products from Artist Couture are the Supreme Nudes and the Supreme Bronze. These are two fantastic eyeshadow palettes. With this palette here, I feel like this is, like, perfect for, like, I really both of these palettes, but it's, like, the basic bitch, right? It's just, in my opinion, a better version of, remember when ABH and Mario did their collaboration palette? To me, this is a better version of that. And then they came out with the Supreme Bronze this year, right? Wasn't it this year? I think Supreme Nudes was last year, and then Supreme Bronze was this year. Also, absolutely beautiful. I did a live video with this as well. I haven't really touched it that much since, but it's still, like, a really great palette. I love how it has a nice, like, variety of the warm tones, but also the cool tones. Whereas the Supreme Nudes, I love how it has that, like, splash of green in there, because I'm a sucker for greens. So Artist Couture, those are the only two products that I'm like, yes. Because I guess when I was choosing all the products that I wanted to talk about today, I'm like, I need, like, the standouts. The things that really make me say, wow. And I've tried, like, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I can't believe I've tried this much stuff from Sephora. But I have. But I'm like, I need products that really stood out. And those are the ones that I'm going to talk about today. So the next one is Beautyblender. I don't think anything, like, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Nothing beats the original Beautyblender. There's just something so special about it. I know for holiday they do, like, the gift sets and stuff. Everything that I'm talking about today is in the description box. It's chock full of links. If you guys do shop my links, I do appreciate it because it allows me to reinvest back into my channel. But especially during VIB sale time, like, if you have a favorite creator and they provide links for you, use them. It's a free way to support your favorite content creators. There you go. So, Beautyblender, the original sponge. But this damn, oh, this thing is so good. I don't even know exactly, like, what the name of it. It's like a blender puff. This is what I use for setting my face. So I basically just push the powder all into my skin. And it's just a game changer for how my powder looks. I think it's like 20 bucks or something like that. It looks dingy as all hell, but it's still, like, I used to use brushes for that purpose, and then as soon as I started using this, so much better. So those are my top recommendations for Beautyblender, and then we have BELIF. So I actually don't have anything BELIF in my collection right now, but the product that I had to mention was the sleeping mask, the Aqua Bomb sleeping mask. This is such an amazing product, especially if you have dry skin. Like, I love this probably the most in the summertime, like if I have a sunburn. But damn, like, I love sleeping masks because you don't have to be bothered, like, waiting and then getting up and rinsing it off. You just fall asleep with it on, you wake up the next day, and you're good. It makes such a difference for your skin. If you have, I would say, like, irritable skin, or if you have a lot of redness, I think this would be awesome if you put it in the fridge because it has that gel-like texture. This just would have such a nice cooling sensation. But the hydration that this gave my skin was unreal. So that's definitely one I'm like, yup, definitely would recommend the BELIF Aqua Bomb sleeping mask. And then we have Bite Beauty. I'm so pissed because there's one product that I had. It's the Power Move, like, lip crayon or something like that. I owned this in the shade Kava. I even remember the name. That's how much I loved it. These are just like the Amuse Bouche. Remember that formula? I think that they have a new Power Matte lipstick that might be comparable to what the Amuse Bouche was. But this has that crayon applicator, and damn, so nice. But it was that shade Kava, was just like, it had the most beautiful, like, cool tone purple but nude moment. I need to buy another one of these. I'm just like, when I'm not looking for it is when I'm gonna find it. But then I also have the Bite Beauty, the Upswing Mascara. I feel like I hear literally no good, like, reviews on this. Because I'm over here like, I like it. I like it a lot. I actually got this, it was like a gift with purchase or something, so I have the mini size, but this is another one. There is a set with this, and I think it's like the Bite eyeliner, which considered getting that until I saw the, like, mascara gift set that we talked about in my top 25. So this one, I'm just like, okay, I'm good with this right now. I wouldn't need to run out and get a full size, but this gives me volume. It, like, perfectly separates my lashes. It kind of gives me, like, Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, but better, because that was one of my favorites, but it has that, like, hourglass type applicator. But I'm like, I feel like I'm literally the one person I think that enjoys it, or at least, like, every video that I've watched, it's like nobody is recommending it, but I'm over here like, I love it, I think it's amazing. So then we have Briogeo, and I'm devastated, because we talked about the deep conditioning mask in my top 25 gift sets. I linked that down below as well. There's a gift set with, like, the full size and then the scalp revival, I think it's called. The deep conditioning mask is such a good, like, almost like restorative mask, but I do think I'm going to talk about one later that I would probably pick over this one, but it's still such a fantastic product. Like, I would still recommend it, even though there's things that are, like, just as good, or it might work better for me. But it's more of, like, how I was looking at this. It's like, at least you guys know, like, I like these things, even if they're not necessarily new, because I feel like all of the, which is normal, like, this is how I usually do mine too, like, I feel like a majority of the recommendations that I'm watching is primarily newer products, and I'm like, let's show some older shit some love, okay? So, I am so, like, devastated, because I love the Be Gentle, Be Kind, the banana and coconut nourishing superfood shampoo. I used to love the conditioner, but I've established that the conditioner breaks me out. But I'm like, okay, I don't know if I would still buy this on its own, but if you don't have problematic skin like I do, but you have very dry hair, this is such a good duo for that. Like, for me, it doesn't work, but I would still recommend it because I love the effects that it had on my hair. Like, this gets everything out. Like, if I have days worth of dry shampoo in my hair like I did today, I go in with this and it strips everything out, but it doesn't actually strip your hair. It smells amazing. I love the formula of the conditioner. It has a very, like, pillowy type of texture to it. It's incredible, but it breaks my back out. So I'm like, all right, I could still recommend the shampoo, but the conditioner, I can't purchase it. Like, you probably won't hear me talk about it anymore just because I won't be able to use it, which is devastating. But it's still a really fantastic product, so I wanted to throw that in there. And then we have Burberry. Now we're going to get into some fragrances. Because, okay, I was watching Erin Nicole, which is always a bad idea because she makes me want to buy everything. Especially when it comes to fragrance. So, she had mentioned that Sephora is supposedly going to have a future event in December. I think she said the 13th or 14th. If you're not a Rouge member, they're supposedly, this is allegedly, I'm not positive, this is the source that I'm getting it from, okay? She said they're supposed to have a 20% off event in December, like from December 13th or 14th until, I think, Christmas Eve. So, keep that in mind if you are not a Rouge member, okay? But the Burberry Brit perfume, this is like my OG. I'm spraying on myself right now. I just bought this actually at Ulta because I had either points or so, I don't know. I just got this again, and I'm like, the nostalgia that this scent has to me, I think this is like a really good, I would say this is even like unisex, but this one, it has like a muskiness to it. It's got like a slight vanilla scent to it, but there's something else in it that has like a spice, but then it's kind of like fruity at the same time. I'm really good at explaining fragrances, I know. But this, it's just one. Like, I initially bought it because it's Burberry and it's named Brit. Like, that was my thought. I was like, oh, it's got my name. I need to buy it. And I fell in love with it. Like, this is going back from, like, teenage years. That's how much and how often I've repurchased it. So, Burberry Brit. I think that's the only recommendation I have from Burberry. But then we have Bulgari. If you've been following my channel for any amount of time, you know the obsession I have with Bulgari fragrances. But these are two that I would lean more towards spring, summer. Because they're more, like, fruity floral. More fruity. What is this? Omnia Coral, Pink Sapphire. Phenomenal. Like, these are just... I get probably the most compliments. This is Shannon's favorite, I think. Omnia Coral. I feel like every time I wear it, people are like, I've never smelled that before. It's so different. And then it's, oh my god, you smell so good. People always say I smell good, so... But I'm like, okay, these, like, would normally not ever see the sight of day in a Sephora recommendations for this sale. Always for the spring sale. I basically wanted to do this video for people that weren't my subscribers that don't know. But all of you guys watching in the live chat, you're probably like, bitch, we know. We know you love those. So Bulgari, I love those. That's it. Charlotte Tilbury. This is where we get like, okay, this is a brand I kind of have a lot. And it's fine. We're going to carry on. For the first thing, I kept these in like a little package. These Beauty Light Wands. I think all of the highlighters and blushes are currently sold out, which is so devastating. Like, why Charlotte Tilbury does not do, like, a whole line of these, I don't understand, because if I had to pick one product that's my favorite from Charlotte Tilbury, it's these. They just look absolutely beautiful on the skin. They have the most beautiful, like, it's like a highlight, but not really. It's very subtle, very wearable. Like, any age, anybody could wear these, except that's where I wish she would expand the shade range, because it's like, I mean, if you're any deeper than, I would say, like, probably, like, dark, maybe even past tan. I don't know if you'd be able to wear these. I think the highlighters you would, but the blushes, you only have Pinkgasm and Peachgasm, and they're pretty, I mean, they're like, I don't know, like, for me, they work for my skin tone, but it's like, oh my god, if she did a whole line of these, oh, I would buy, like, every single one of them. But they go out of stock so frequently. So, if those come back in stock, highly recommend. And then, I feel like everybody in this live chat has heard me talk about this so many times, but the Hollywood Contour Wand from Charlotte Tilbury is incredible. It's just super easy to use. I think if you were to pick a contour from today's recommendation, like, the most user-friendly, I think that this one's it. But the shade range, you only have, like, fair, medium, and then medium deep, I think it is. Why is there not more shades of this? Like, everybody needs to have access to this because it's incredible. And it's just, it blends out so nicely and so effortlessly, but it has, again, that, like, beautiful, like, skin-like sheen to it. Stunning. Moving on, we have the Matte Revolution lipstick. I only have the shade Pillow Talk. I really want to try the Kissing formula because I think I'll like that even more. So Pillow Talk, this is probably one of my favorite matte formulas because I personally prefer a more like satin type finish. I like very natural looking makeup. Like, this is very much a vibe. I get the most compliments when my makeup is like this. So I do like a more satin lipstick formula, but this, it's like, it's matte. It's a true matte. But it's one of the most long-lasting matte formulas I have in lipstick form. But it doesn't feel like a matte. Like, it's not drying or anything like that. I really like the applicator as well. But this shade Pillow Talk, like, will literally never die when it comes to Charlotte Tilbury. There's so much Pillow Talk makeup. But this Matte Revolution formula is fantastic. But the only shade that I could speak on is Pillow Talk. And honestly, like, who doesn't have Pillow Talk at this point? With all, like, the gift sets that she puts together, like, I feel like that's always, like, a gift with purchase. Like, even with the Sephora, like, gift sets that there's going on, I feel like Pillow Talk's in, like, 5 of them. So, definitely love that one. And then, I feel like this is one that's so slept on. The Charlotte Tilbury, the Film Star Bronze and Glow. This is the mini size. It's, like, $29. This was, I think, for holiday last year, if I'm remembering correctly. I picked this up because I wanted the Film Star Duo for, like, the longest time. And as soon as I saw this in a mini, I'm like, perfect. It's just, I will never go through a full size. And the fact that this is, like, the perfect size for my brushes to fit in, excellent price range, like $29. You can't beat it. It's got really beautiful packaging. This is still one that I'm like, why don't more people talk about that? Because it's just a really natural looking contour palette, and the highlight that's in there is beautiful. Like, it's more of like a yellow tone. I'll give you guys some swatches of that just so you guys could see, because another one, I don't think I hear really anybody talk about it, especially if you have, I would say, like more mature skin. That's where I think Charlotte Tilbury really does excel. It's like her products are so flattering on like texture, more mature skin, more experienced skin, which is what a lot of people on my live chats like to say. So this one, mini size is perfection. Venice? Perfect. So then, sticking with Charlotte Tilbury palettes, I have to mention this one because when I reviewed this, I did like a testing new makeup with this. I was like, all right, it's $75. It's super expensive. The packaging is beautiful. I really like the aesthetic that like her whole brand has. So I was like, all right, I don't think this is worth $75, but at 20% off, it's definitely worth it. I really like the bronzer selection that she has because these are basically like true contours for me. And I like the fact that this blush, it's almost like when you mix them all together, like when you do the contour, then you put the blush on, it gives you a really bronzy type moment. So it's like, normally these are two bronzers that I would not reach for because cool tones just don't look the best on my complexion. They make me look muddy, and it makes me look like I have dirt all over my face. But these ones don't. They work, like, perfectly. But then mixing in that blush gives you that warmth, and then this highlight is just stunning. Beautiful. So I'm like, all right, would I pay full price for it again? Probably not, but I would buy this again if it was on sale. So I do recommend this one. It really is a great palette. And then I think this is the last. No, I got one more from Charlotte Tilbury after this one. I don't think you've seen me use this on video yet, but I actually wore this to a wedding. This is one of her newer palettes, the Charlotte Tilbury, the Instant Eye Palette, Smoky Eyes or Forever. When you look at this, you're like, all right, it's nothing revolutionary, it's nothing different. Like, we've seen her do this 8,000 different times. You may be correct. But I feel like this is the closest that I've seen, at least from what I've tried, to the Fire Rose. And the Fire Rose is so good. So this, I'm like, all right, I can't remember exactly what shades. I know I used this shade here, and I'm like, okay, this, like, the glitteriness in these, like, if you don't like glittery eyeshadows, this would probably be an easy pass for you. But I'm like, oh my god, when I wore this, I'm like, everything just looked spectacular. And there is just something about Charlotte Tilbury and her formulas that look so flattering. And that's why I think I'm so drawn to her brand all the time, is because she just has it figured out. So this one, I'm like, okay, I haven't used it a ton, but when I did, I was like, ooh, I look good. So that's just, I think, a really beautiful, like, neutral palette with, like, your pops of green. But then you have those really beautiful, like, sparkly, I'm going to say they're metallics, but it's more of like a sparkle. But when you wet them, oh my god, they look so beautiful when they're wet. But that's where I'm like, okay, I think that that's the closest to Fire Rose that I've seen, at least. Like, with all the bigger palettes that I have of hers, that one is probably my favorite, at least as of right now. Last product from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is going to be, like, no surprise to anybody, Hollywood Flawless Filter. And I love the fact that this is in a mini size now. Like, if you have not tried this, you really should. It's spectacular. I love it, too, because it's so multi-purpose. Like, you could use this as a foundation if you like something that's really light coverage, but it has a very strong, like, radiance to it, but it's not glittery. It's just such a good product. Like, my favorite way to use this is basically, like, as a primer for the high points of my face, or sometimes I'll just say YOLO. You really can't even see it. Like, it's such a slight radiance, but it makes such a difference. And then the fact that it has, like, a little bit of coverage to it, especially if you're somebody that doesn't like to wear a lot of makeup, like, you would love this. It looks so beautiful. But then even, like, having something like this, I could pop this on the high point, and I could use it even as a highlighter, and it looks beautiful. Like, I don't want to mess with what I have going on, or I would do it. Everybody raves about this for a damn good reason. It's fantastic. Love it. Okay. That was everything from Charlotte Tilbury, I think. Oh, what? Oh no, I have one more thing. One more thing. Because I don't have this, but I actually might pick this up for the sale myself because the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. It's a really, really great product, but it's so heavily fragrance. Like, if you don't like fragrance, you will not like this at all. So, I would say, like, I wanted to mention this today because I'm like, okay, it might not be my absolute favorite, but if you want a setting spray that's going to last all day long, like, make your makeup last all day long and probably the next day, this is definitely the one. I feel like this one and probably the Urban Decay All-Nighter or the Scandinavia Bridal Spray, those are probably the longevity best ones that I've come across. So I'm like, the fact that this is in a little duo, love it. I might snag one of those. We shall see. We shall see. Cinema Secrets. I had to take a sip. Damn. Okay. I had the full bottle, but I think I emptied it to fill these. The brush cleaner. I have another one that I'm eyeing because somebody keeps talking about it. So the Cinema Secrets brush cleaner, I love this for when I freelance. Not that I freelance all the time, but to basically spot clean your brushes and sanitize them in between clients. Like, makeup artists would love this, but you're not going to want to use this with natural hair brushes because it will dry them out so bad because it has a very high percentage of alcohol in there. So, very strong vanilla fragrance. But you literally spray your brushes with this, rub it on a paper towel or a towel, and it's dry within like 5 seconds. It's such a great product, but it's definitely more abrasive on your brushes. So, like, I know some people like dip their brushes into it and rub them out and do it that way. That just sounded terrible, but you know what I'm saying. I think that's just way too much for brushes. Like, I used to do that when I first tried it, but I like to spray them more just because I'm able to, like, monitor how much is getting in my brushes, if that makes sense. Okay, you get it. Danessa Myricks, where do I have this? So, I haven't tried a ton from Danessa Myricks, but I wanted to throw this in here because I'm like, okay, the quality's fantastic. I had a really great experience with it, even though it doesn't fit, like, perfectly into my collection because of what I already had. But if you're shopping for somebody or if you're shopping for yourself and you don't have, like, a large selection of indie, like, multi-chrome eyeshadows, this is 100% the palette that is like, okay, this would be such a great gift for somebody else or yourself. But this is the Danessa Myricks, the Lightwork Volume 3. I just did a video featuring this, but I'm like, the shades in here and the quality of it is really great. I just have a lot in my collection that I'm like, did I need this? No. But this is just something fun, and it's so different, especially for, like, mainstream brands. Like, I consider Danessa Myricks still, like, indie, but since, like, since Danessa Myricks is available at Sephora, this is something so different for Sephora. You guys are all laughing in the live chat. It wouldn't be a normal Britt Clark video if it wasn't a hot mess, right? Or inappropriate jokes were made. It's fine. So this is what some of the swatches look like. It's just a true, like, multi-chrome palette. You have a variety of different textures in here. You've got some really different type of, basically, like, face highlighters or, like, incandescent type shades where it's got that white base to it, but it reflects a different color. This is just something, it's so different, and that's why I wanted to throw it in here. Even though I have things in my collection that I do prefer more, like, formula-wise, you have just a ton of option in one palette, and I just think somebody that loves makeup would really enjoy this, and it's just so different. So Lightwork Volume 3, I'm just like, good job. And then, this is probably where we're going to be for a minute. So, if you didn't have a snack already, I don't know how you don't. Dior is one of my favorite brands of all time. So, if I had to recommend anything from Dior Air Flash is the best foundation at Sephora, in my humble opinion. There's just something so different about this. I talked about this in, what was it, my What's in My Cart, because I'm considering buying another shade of this. If you like a full face of foundation, don't waste your money, because you'll fly through it. Because of how I do my makeup, I do like the underpainting technique, I do a very thin layer of foundation. This is just the most natural foundation that I own. It looks so beautiful. It looks just like skin. Like, your skin but better is exactly what you get out of this. And it's expensive. Like, getting that % off is like the perfect time to get it. And Dior really doesn't go, I don't think, above 20% off like ever if you have like Rouge 20% off. But even still, I'm like, this is such an amazing foundation. I've raved about it so many times. I'm sure anybody watching that has watched my videos in the past is so sick of hearing me talk about it. But let's talk about the Forever Skin Correct. I have the shade 3N. This is the concealer that I'm wearing right now. If you want a concealer that looks exactly like skin, like Dior nails it for natural looking skin. This is just the most natural looking concealer I've ever tried. I would say it's like medium coverage. So if you want something more full coverage, this will probably be a pass for you. But it literally, like, look at my under eyes. Like, it makes my skin look very youthful, very natural, very skin-like. Yada, yada, yada. You get it. Fantastic. I love this one. Then we have some lip products. So I see that they have, like, their lipstick sets for holiday. And I think that the mini set is, like, such... I'm just, like, I'm over here and I'm like... I want it. I don't think these shades are available at Sephora because I got these from the Dior website, but this is the Rouge Dior formula. One of my favorites. Such a beautiful formula, but I know that they change like the finishes between, like they have the Rouge line, but they change from like satins, mattes, and I think like glitters, like all different types of formulas. Satins are my shit. I love the satin formulas. So I have the shade, what is it? 458. This was one for like Mother's Day. I love Dior. So I do recommend their satin lipsticks. That's the only formula that I've tried, but I'm also favorable towards, satin formulas. And then I have some highlighters and lip glosses. So let's start with the lip gloss. We have the Lip Maximizer. I have the shade 006. It's just basically like the nude one. I don't love the actual, like, applicator of this, but let me tell you what, I still remember buying this because I just swatched it in store one day. Like, it looks like nothing. Like, it looks just like any rando lip gloss. When I tell you how much I stare at this, like, every single time I swatch it, there's just something about it that I love. But I only don't love the applicator because I have to continuously go in and, like, dip and dip. If that doesn't bother you... This is fantastic. It doesn't really give me like a plumping effect or anything like that. If anything, it just looks really nice. It's a lip gloss. Like, it's spency, but it's fantastic. I love it. And then we have probably my third favorite product from Dior, and it's the highlighters. I love this Backstage face palette because I love the fact that you get the 4 different shades. And I love this packaging. I don't know. I love the fact that I have 3 of the 4 shades I can get really good use out of. I love the formula. I love the effect. Like, Dior has my favorite highlighter formula at Sephora. Like, it's more glittery. It's not what I'm wearing today, but it does have a more, like, glittery effect to it, in my opinion. But this one, I just love having the shade options within one because I think a full size is comparable in price to this one. So I think this is a really, like, good bang for your buck. And then I pulled out both of these, but this is the one I'm just like, okay, this one's fine, but this one, I'm going to talk about another product that I'm going to compare this to because I always make the comment of, like, Edward Cullen skin. This, what is it? The Dior Forever Couture Luminizer in the shade 03 Pearlescent Glow. It looks straight up white. But when I tell you, like, this is what I was wearing in yesterday's video, it looks like the most natural looking sparkle, like I said, Edward Cullen skin, except this has, like, a slight blue reflect to it. It's gorgeous. If you want to see this on my face, check out my last video, but I love this packaging as well. Like, it's got almost, like, a pillowy top to it. Incredible. Like, the number 1, Nude Glow... It's comparable to, like, the Nude Glow that they've done before and, like, the other formula. To me, they're not that far off. But that Pearlescent Glow is, like, spectacular. It's so beautiful. So that was everything for Dior. Oh, my God. We have so much more to go through. Drunk Elephant. I have 2 products from Drunk Elephant, but you can get these, actually, in a set. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the TLC Sakari Baby Facial. I haven't used this in actually quite a bit. Like, I'm looking at my skin, I'm like, oh my god, my skin would look even better if I had this on before. So this is literally Facetune in a face mask. And it's instant. Like, you will apply this. Say if you have, like, an event coming up or something, right? You're getting ready, like, okay, I got a shower, kiki, whatever. If you apply this, like, 15 minutes before you do your makeup, wipe it off, you're going to see a difference with the texture of your skin. I promise you. Like, at least for me, I shouldn't say I promise you, because some people will be like, no. For me, and especially this texture that I have right up here, Tammy, we're gonna get there. So this, it's just like, I don't love the way that it smells, but if you have sensitive skin, I would stay away from this because it does have almost like a tingly sensation. It feels like it works. It actually works. Like, one of my favorite products, because I've tried like a lot from Drunk Elephant and I don't really like a lot of their stuff, but this, and then the marula oil. This is one that I'm like, okay, I was trying the Good Molecules, like one of their oils, and I was like, all right, I think that I could like do away with the marula oil, but when I start using it again, I'm like, oh no, there's something so special about the marula oil, like as far as hydration for my skin goes. So like, if you buy either a full size or a mini size of this, it comes with a trial of the marula oil. I think I linked where you can like select the different sizes to see the sets both. I love this stuff. I'm so glad that they brought the mini size back because it's a great way to try it. But like I said, if you have sensitive skin, I would stay away. But if you have sensitive skin, you might love that marula oil because it's a really great, like, reparative oil is what it seems like to me. Like, it's just, like, I used to have oily skin until I started using facial oils, and then my skin, like, completely balanced out because I had dehydrated skin, so I was, like, overproducing oil. An oil will change your life. So I love those from Drunk Elephant. And then we've got my bae. My bae. Okay, let's talk about Dyson. You guys already know I'm going to say it. The Airwrap, baby. I regret nothing. If this broke tomorrow, I would pay full price for it. That's how much I love it. So I have the Airwrap Styler set. It's got everything in here. But I also wanted to talk about these attachments because I actually got asked about this in a recent video. I've done a dedicated video to Dyson. I show you guys how I use it. I answered your guys' question. I'll link it below if I think of it. It might not fit. You could just search like Britt Clark Dyson and I'm sure you'll find it. But I wanted to mention these attachments because I get asked actually quite often, like, what do I think of them? I use these ones. These are linked in the description box. These are, I think, the 0.8. They're the smaller of the two longer barrel attachments. These are the ones that I recommend. And that's actually what I used for my hair today, just so you guys could see exactly what it does. I don't think these are a need unless you have, like, really long hair. Like, my hair is, you basically see how long my hair is. I could still get away with using the ones that come with the styler set. This is one thing I wish that they would change, though. Like, when they do these, like, special colors for, like, holiday, keep in mind, like, the attachments are a different color. That's just one thing that kind of bothers me. I wish that they did, like, the really beautiful blue. That's besides the point. So that was basically, like, the main reason why I went with this opposed to the gold one last year. But I love this, though. Like, I regret nothing. I would pay full price for it, like I said. If you have been eyeing these and you have long hair, it probably is worth it because it does speed up the process because you could pull more hair. But I'm like, but did I need them? No. But I would still recommend them because they still work. If that was helpful, let me know. But that's just kind of like how I look at it. I do find that I still use like the originals though. I wish that they would, like, condense down a kit, though, like, with just the curling ones instead of having, like, the actual, like, brushes in there. The round brush, though, I use that every single time. It's so good. So, oh my god, will those attach to the blue gold set, too? I believe it'll still attach. They're just gonna look different. You know, and, like, when you're seeing something that's so, like, the beautiful blue, not that the gray and pink's not beautiful, but it just one of those things, like, when you're spending that kind of money, you want it to, like, all match, you know? So, Dyson, highly recommend. I absolutely love it. Let's talk about some Fenty. I actually don't have a ton of Fenty because I have like a love-hate relationship because I want to love everything Fenty because the price is good, you know, the aesthetic and the packaging is always good, but the products themselves don't always work for me. But the ones that do, like, when they're good, they're really good for me. So I have to mention, and I'm surprised I don't hear more people talk about these, the Stunna lip paints. Like, I love the packaging. I love the shades that she does. I actually want to pick up, like, a deep one, I think, for the sale. I haven't decided yet. I want to say I had one more shade of this, though. But this is a really great, long-lasting liquid lipstick. But it is a little bit more drying, but I love this whole aesthetic, though, and I like the shades that she chooses, so those I would definitely recommend. I think they're fantastic. And then the gloss bombs, especially this one, Diamond Milk, is so gorgeous. I remember, I think I reviewed this. It's got some lipstick on there, but this is another, like, the gloss bomb until I'm going to talk about more glosses later. Until I found those other ones, Gloss Bomb was everything to me. Like, #1 lip gloss of all time. Like, Fussy was, like, my favorite. Diamond Milk was beautiful. This is a really great formula. I like the way that it smells. It's got almost, like, a strawberry fragrance to it. I haven't tried, like, the cream formula just because since other brands have come out with glosses, I'm like, those are the ones I stick to just because I like them better. But when I come back to these, though, I'm just like, oh, they look so pretty. So they are a really great product. It's just, there's other ones that are, like, just as good or better. But this is where I'm like, if you want the most beautiful highlight, if you like sparkle, this is only for the sparkle girls out there, okay? Or boys, whatever you're into. If you like a sparkly highlight, the Fenty, what is this? The Diamond Bomb in How Many Carats? This is the one that I always say, this is Edward Cullen skin. Like, straight up. It feels like... it feels like the Stila. Remember the putty? Like the putty highlighters or whatever? But the effect that this has, like... I'll do it. The effect that this has on the cheeks... I know Michaela on TikTok just started talking about this. It just has the most beautiful spark, like, it's straight up glitter. Whenever I go on vacation, I take this with me, and I just put it, like, all over my entire body. So I basically use this as, like, how I just used it. I'll put down a highlighter, and then if I want, like, a little bit more sparkle, oh, it's so stunning. I just think of Edward Cullen every time. And it truly, it doesn't, like... I feel like right there you could see it. It just looks like diamonds. Diamond Bomb's the perfect way to explain it. Good job, Rihanna, on the name. So those are everything for me for Fenty. And then, oh, I forgot to grab this upstairs. Foreo. I have the Luna Mini 2. You may or may not see a giveaway coming up in probably December for a Foreo. I love that damn thing. I got the one for the giveaway during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty because it was like half off or something like that. Such a fantastic product, though. Like, if you want to change the game of somebody's skincare or your own, if you start washing your face with a Luna or a Luna Mini 2 or 3, whatever number they're on now, I think they're on number 3, game changer. So good. I've talked about this several times. I even think I did a TikTok on that, actually. So that's everything from Foreo, or Foreo, however you pronounce it. And then I have Fresh. I was so happy because I was watching Patty Alonso's video today, and I'm like, finally somebody understands the hype of this product. The Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Oil Infused Serum. This is, I think, the second or third one of these. Bitch, does this make such a difference for the texture of my skin. Like, it feels, like, pillowy when I use this. And I know, like, oil infused will kind of throw people, so I'll basically, like, shake it up. I'll put it on a cotton pad and just wipe it all over my face. It's, like, the smallest step. You don't really think it's going to do anything, but when I tell you it makes your skin feel softer, this is such an amazing product. And I'm like, why does nobody ever talk about this? Or at least I don't feel like I hear anybody ever talk about it. Because it's so good. Like, I feel like the Fresh... the toner that has, like, the flowers in it, that got so much more hype than this, and this is way better, in my humble opinion. So I love that one, like, with my whole entire life. And then we have Gucci. Where's the Gucci gang? Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. We got a lot of Gucci. Let's start with fragrance. This is a new one. Gucci Flora. So I actually picked up the little like holiday set, but then I ended up picking up this instead because I didn't like how the holiday set was an actual roller ball. And then the mini component that looked like this, it basically didn't have like a sprayer or anything. It was just like you dump it out sort of a thing. So I bought this one just because packaging purpose, but I love the fragrance of this. Like, it's so different for my collection, like what I typically go for. I feel like floral, gorgeous gardenia, like, that's exactly what it smells like. It smells like fresh flowers, but I like layering this. Like, I like wearing this during the day while I'm wearing other things. I don't know, it's just like one of those ones that I'm like, I want just like a splash of like florally. You know, so I like to use this for mixing. It's such a beautiful fragrance. I'm so glad because that bottle is perfection. And then I feel like what everybody knows is coming. The Gucci foundation. What is this called even? I think it's just the natural finish foundation. I think for probably the most coverage but natural, this is the winner. Because this is like medium to full coverage, but it still looks natural. It's kind of bizarre. So I think natural finish foundation is an appropriate name for it. This is Shannon's favorite. Every time I wear it, he's like, oh my God, your skin looks so good. Like, you look so good. It's like my perfect event foundation. When I'm really wanting to go like extra glam, because this is like what I like on a day-to-day basis type of thing. But if I want something that's just like a little more turned up, a little bit more coverage, you get it. This is the one that I'll reach for that. And the fact that my husband loves it. I mean, just why not? So, love that foundation. And then, oh, my stuff's starting to fall off. I'm like, what just happened over there? So then, the Gucci bronzer. This is one of my favorite bronzers at Sephora. The shades are tricky with this one, so be careful if you're ordering online. I have the shade number 3. From what I have heard, number 2 is darker than this. So that's why I got the shade number 3. This is just... It doesn't look like anything special, but when you put this on your face, it just looks like the most perfect amount of warmth. It's got like a natural finish to it. It's not flat matte, but it's not like overly like radiant or anything like that. It's just like a perfect bronzer. I really like this one. And then the fact that this packaging is absolutely stunning, like, I love it. And then if you're going to save money on it, like, this is the perfect time to do it. And then I also wanted to mention the satin lipsticks. This is the only one I have, and this is a shade that I don't reach for that often because it's so intense, but I have the shade Agatha Orange. I got this to wear in like spring and summer, and I think I wore it like a couple times, but the formula of these is so nice. The packaging, so beautiful. I wish this had like the magnetic closure. It actually like clicks closed. Packaging's beautiful. The whole aesthetic of Gucci, I love their line. I think it's one of my favorites at Sephora. And then this is like shade specifically because my favorite eyeliners at Sephora were the Marc Jacobs highliners, and now you can't get them anymore. So I tried out the Gucci long-lasting liner. I was wearing this actually in yesterday's video, and shockingly people were asking like, what's in your waterline? That never happens. Like, ain't nobody ever asking what's in my waterline. So this is the shade 06. It's basically like a pastel blue. And this one, it's like, I have to work it over my eye a couple times. But this shade is just beautiful. Like, I love pastel blues. Vanish, you're the one that made me do it. Agatha Orange. So this pastel blue, like, I love pastel liners in my waterline because it makes my eyes look so much more bright and awake. And when I use pastel colors, it's like a fun way to kind of spice up your eye look, but still look bright and awake and fresh. This is a good one. And that's everything I have from Gucci. Damn, are you guys enjoying yourselves? Like, are you guys finding this helpful? Do you like when it's this detailed? Or do you wish it was more scaled down? Let me know your guys' feedback. I need a drink break, damn. Okay, let's go into Hourglass. This is another brand I typically don't talk about because I always find that it's just better for me to shop at different retailers. But in the event you don't have access to other retailers, like, here we go. Here's all the faves, and there's a lot. Hourglass is another one of my favorite brands. Like, I love the luxury brands, which is why I love Sephora, because It's like all of my favorites in one place. Which when you're doing like the percentage off your in total amount, it makes so much sense. So that's why my, my fantasy cart was at $2,500 yesterday. So the first thing I'll start with is the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. This one I always compare to the Thrive Cosmetics one. And I think that they're so incredibly similar that it's like really hard to tell the difference. Like from the wand, the packaging is obviously different. I actually like the aesthetic of this packaging better, but the wand is exactly the same. I'm favorable for tubing mascaras because I have very sensitive eyes, so I want my mascara to come off like it's off, right? So this one, I had really great luck with this one, but I actually found another one recently that I kind of like more than this one because I don't really like plastic applicators either because my eyes are so sensitive. So I would still recommend this. It makes just your lashes look really natural, like it evenly coats them. This formula though, where this is different from the Thrive is I feel like Thrive is like super black, but this one, it's not as black, but it gives your eyelashes like a shine, which is so bizarre and so like ridiculous to say, but it's true. It just really is like such a slight difference, but it's still a great mascara at the end of the day. So I have that one. And then I love Hourglass powders. They're like, if Hourglass does anything right, it's their face powders. So the first thing, this is very shade specific on this one because I think this is like the perfect blush for like fall winter. The At Night Ambient Lighting Blush. Y'all remember this one? I feel like everyone loved this when it came out, and for damn good reason. The only downfall with these is they all look different. Like, mine is very heavy on, like, the deeper tone, but I love Hourglass powders because they have the most beautiful finish. So skin-like. It's just truly such a stunning blush. I love this one. So very shade specific, but I do love the formula. But if I was to buy a blush right now, it would be At Night, just because it's chef's kiss. And then if you ask me, like, you heard me talk about the Gucci, like, I love other bronzers at Sephora to this day, and it's been like 10 years at this point. If you ask me what is your favorite bronzer of all time, it's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer. There's just nothing that will ever beat this. But this is where I say it's the downfall with these Hourglass powders is this is my second one of these. This will last you a ridiculous amount of time. But my previous one had more of the deeper shade in here. So this one isn't as deep as the previous one, but I still love it. It's still such a great bronzer. Like, Hourglass cheek products just nail it for me, especially for my textured skin. I love them. And then how I always explain this is the Luminous Light, the just like ambient powder. It literally looks like nothing. Like when you put it on, you're like, but wait, did it do anything? I'll even apply some of this right now because I swear, like I just did a wedding, like I freelance makeup for the first time in forever. And I notice it because I'm applying it, but it's like the slightest highlight. Did you guys just notice anything? Like, tell me, because I always explain this. I'm like, this is the powder that just looks like an angel came down and just kissed your face. This is a Jaclyn Hill buy right here. She featured this. I even remember when I bought this. She featured this in her bridal tutorial, and I have used it for freelancing ever since, just because it has such a natural radiance to it. But like I said, it looks like nothing. But it's so good. I love this. But I've had this for so long, and it looks like I haven't even touched it. It's such a good powder. But since it's holiday time, I'm going to recommend go with one of the face palettes, because these are both fantastic. If I had to recommend one over the other, though, I'm going with this one, just because I reach for this one so much more. And I think it's because the bronzer. Like, the bronzer's deeper, which is kind of surprising. I expected this palette to have the deeper bronzer of the two. But this is still, it's just like a solid palette. And I know this is unpopular. Feels like nobody likes that Ambient Infinity powder. I have a full size of this, and I still bought this because I love it. Love the Ambient Infinity powder. So this is just a solid palette for me. But with this palette here, like, I still would recommend both. These blushes are so beautiful. Like, both of these palettes are fantastic. They both work for my complexion, so I'm very lucky in that regard. I feel like if I'm going to buy anything Hourglass right now, it's these. But those were still, like, staple products in my collection. And then I also really love the Veil Translucent Powder from Hourglass. I've had this since it launched. So this has lasted me a really long time. I really like the packaging on this, but I really love the just natural finish, but it gives, like, a slight radiance. Like, all Hourglass powders, in my opinion, they give that slight radiance to your skin. But it's not really noticeable. It's just like the Hourglass effect. Like, angel came down and kissed your face type of thing. So this one, it's just really ideal for me for setting my face. I set my under eyes with this. Like, just a really fantastic powder. I don't use this all the time, but when I come back to it, I'm like, why did I stop using this? Just because it has the most beautiful effect on my skin. And then, I swear, this is like Facetune in a spray. The Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. This is, like, one of my favorites for just, like, a finishing spray. I purposely didn't spray my face today just to see if you guys can see a difference. I love the mister on this because I could still talk and it's not getting, like, all in my mouth. Did y'all see anything? It's just beautiful. It just has the most radiant effect, but it's not glitter. Like, that's where it's like, Hourglass just does something to me. They have something in their products, and they always look so beautiful. And that's just what I like. So, that was my hand. I didn't too. Don't be alarmed. So, that was everything that I have for Hourglass. Big fan, clearly. Oh, I was going to mention, I'm like, ooh, I forgot a product, but I don't think it's available anyways. The Sheer Illume Trio, the Hourglass, like, cream palette. I don't think that's available at Sephora. If it is, that's a run, don't walk. So good. But I don't think it is, so it's fine. Okay. See? Right for these? Mm-hmm. See, I am painting that. I want to know if there's anything kind of comparable. Kiki, what did I miss? Oh, let's see. Oh, you'll have to let me know. I'm trying to stay ahead of this. And then we'll have a little chitty chat at the end. So, Huda Beauty. Huda Beauty has my heart for eyebrows. Like, just fucking nailing it. So I have two products. I've tried more of their products, like, from the Glowish line, which are still good, but I noticed that I don't really reach for them that much. So it's like, if you're eyeing them, like, you may like them. I don't know. But nothing has wowed me from Huda like the Balm Brows. This is the brow pencil, and then the Balm Brows, fully and fluffy, just like the brow gel. I love a brow gel that's tinted just because I think it looks more flattering, because it's really apparent when I fill in my brows and I miss an area. So that's where, if I'm feeling really lazy, I could just be like, okay, let's just fix that really quick. And I love this applicator too because it's so thin. But then even with this formula, like, if I get it on, because I always hit, like, basically like the arch of my brow, if it does get on my skin, it wipes away super easy. So I love these. They're just over there killing it for the brows for me. So that's all I have for Huda, though. I'm kind of surprised. But before this year, really, I never really purchased from Huda, though. So I guess I'm not really that surprised. But you'll see more Huda on my channel in the future. So then we have Jack Black. And I feel like this is one that I'm, again, the only one talking about it, which is problematic because I always hear people loving, like, the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, which is fantastic. It's a really great product, but nothing will treat your crusty-ass lips like the Jack Black Lip Balm. It's so good, and this will last on your lips for hours. This isn't a lip balm that you need to reapply and reapply and reapply. I used to apply this, like, when I worked at the steel mill. I would apply this in the morning, and by afternoon, I still felt it on my lips. Like, no other lip balm is as long-lasting. Even if I use this as, like, a lip sleeping mask, it works the exact same, and it's, like, $8. And then there's little gift sets now for holiday and shit. Like, this is just so underrated. And it pisses me off because I'm like, nobody is giving Jack Black the hype that it deserves with the lip balm. Because it's game changer. Game changer. You're all welcome if you try it after this video. Then we have Kerastase. So I purchased this. It was the Sephora Friends and Family sale was when I got this. I was trying to remember last night. So this is the Dry Hair Essentials Day and Night Treatments. These are both products that I highly recommend. But mainly that 8-Hour Magic Night Serum. I think I took that out of the box. But I have the actual box. So this is what the set actually looks like. This is so good. Like one of the best buys and best products that you're going to buy at Sephora. If you have dry damaged hair like I do, this is a game changer. Like you will have the silkiest hair. Oh my god, this hair oil too, like I feel like nobody really talks about this. Really, nobody talks about any of these. And I never even knew about this product until somebody had recommended it to me. And damn, am I so glad that they did because it's incredible. So if you want your hair to be a little bit more like shiny, sleek, silky, I over apply it though. Like it says like use 2 or 4 pumps. I'm like, yeah, let me get 10. I like cover my hair in this stuff. Game changer. I'm gonna buy this like literally every single year. And this set, it's basically like you're buying this and then getting the hair oil for free. And the hair oil, it smells amazing. It's fantastic. I hear a lot of people loving that Jisoo hair oil. In my opinion, the Kerastase is better, but again, me and my humble opinion. And then we have Kiehl's. So this is one that I kind of sleep on it myself actually, and it's like, why don't I always have this on deck? Because the Kiehl's Creme de Corps is literally the best lotion for massages. Like if you're a big massage person, this is one that, like, you know how sometimes with lotions, like as you're massaging, like the skin will start to like ball up and stuff. I don't know why, but this does not do that. So like if you're massaging somebody for a long period of time, you know, you ain't gonna have that problem, or at least I didn't. And then I love the fact that it doesn't really have a scent to it. Just because, you know, sometimes you're really not in the mood for a scent, or you just want something that's going to work really good and you don't really care if it smells good or not. That's what this is for me, because this is one of the best as far as hydration for lotions for me. So, like, I love another brand we're going to talk about later, but this is one I'm like, especially for, like, fall, winter, my fragrance, like, I want to smell like my perfumes. I don't really want to smell like my lotions like I do in like spring and summer, if that makes sense. So Kiehl's Creme de Corps, highly recommend it. And then let's talk about Killian real quick. So Killian has taken a lot of my money recently. So I just picked up the Angel Share. This is the French Montana version. Look how extra that is. I love it. This just smells delightful. It smells so boozy. Like like you could definitely smell the alcohol like notes in it, but there's something so like sexy but still feminine. I don't know, this one I think would definitely be like a unisex. Oh, I want to keep smelling it. This is like a perfect date night. I love like I'll wear the shit out of this when the bar opens. I'll just be wearing this all the damn time because it'd be appropriate to smell like booze all the time, but it's not like a super boozy, like unflattering, unappealing type boozy scent. It's very sexy. I love it. So then we have Angel Share. And then we have Love Don't Be Shy, which I just purchased this from actually Selfridges because it was marked down to like $194, so I bought it there instead. But this is still a fragrance. Like there's so many gift sets at Sephora too that there's like samplers, there's a rollerball, or it's like, it's not even a rollerball, it's actually like a spray. So those are the ones that I like. This is supposedly the fragrance that Rihanna wears. Whether she does or not, I don't fucking know. But this just smells like yummy marshmallows. So sexy. I bought a full size. So what's that tell you? And then I feel like this is one that doesn't really get the hype. But Princess. Oh, I had another like travel spray. I'll probably pick up another travel spray of this one because I actually ran out of this before the Love Don't Be Shy, which was very surprising because I felt like I liked the smell of Love Don't Be Shy more, but I reached for Princess more, which was very strange. I think that Princess was more ideal for like a day-to-day basis, whereas Love Don't Be Shy, it was more like more evening, I think, but I still wear them all the damn time anyways. So I love, like, if I had to choose a fragrance brand, it's 100% Killian, and it's all Charlotte Holdcroft's fault. All her fault. And then we have Kosas. The only thing that I have to recommend from Kosas is I think it's called like the Sun Show bronzer. Is that the name? I don't remember. This is a great bronzer. It's not my favorite, but I really like the effect that this has on the skin. This is the shade Medium. It's just another one. I really don't reach for it that often. I think this is a really beautiful summer bronzer because this has like a really small amount of sparkle in there. So this gives me a lot more like radiance. I mean, straight up sparkle, but it's not going to look like crazy sparkle. You know? There's a swatch. It's really beautiful, but like I said earlier, nothing in like 10 years has beat out my Hourglass mascara, but it's still really good. And then we have KVD Beauty, which I wasn't purchasing. Ooh, shit. What else? I bought something else, and I thought of it after the other day, and I can't remember now. But I picked up the KVD, the Vegan Beauty. What is this? What the hell's the name of it? Modcon Liquid Gel Contour. It's the liquid contour. I bought this to compare it to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless, or not Hollywood Flawless Filter, the Hollywood Contour Wand. Because when I was in store when this first came out, I swatched it and I'm like, ooh, the formula really does remind me of the Charlotte, because it's like, it looks like it's going to be crazy pigmented, but this blends out so nicely. I actually did a dedicated video to this comparing it to the Charlotte Tilbury. I think for me, I still prefer the Charlotte Tilbury. I like this, like the subtle glow that it gives to the skin. But this one, the shade range is way better. So it's going to be one of those things like if you wanted to try the Charlotte Tilbury but the shades don't work for you, this is the one I would recommend. So it's still a really great product. It's just, Charlotte just has that slightly more like skin-like finish that I look for. Whereas for me, because I've heard people say that this is more glowy, but I don't get really a glow at all. If anything, my contour looks really flat when I use this. So I like that extra little bit of glow. Glow's probably the wrong word to use, but you know what I'm saying. I use that Hollywood contour wand so much, so you've seen me apply that like time and time again on my channel. And then we have L'Occitane. So I don't have this right now. I was so mad at myself because it was like Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I think either the beginning of this year or I forget when it was. They had the Supple Skin Oil on sale for half off, and I was so mad because it sold out before I could buy it. I love the Almond Shower Oil, but I feel like I fly through it way too quickly to repurchase it over and over again. I more or less get it like for a special occasion or something like that. But if you love the smell of the Almond Shower Oil, this is a better product because you basically shower, do your damn thing. You get out the shower, you put this all over, and it lingers. Like, it actually, you can actually smell it for so much longer. Like, it's such an intoxicating, beautiful almond fragrance. But this is just such an amazing product, especially for fall, winter, because everybody's skin, I feel like, is a lot more dry during this time of the year. So this is where I'm like, all right, if I'm going to get this, this is the time. And I feel like a lot of people don't know about it either, so you're welcome. Supple Skin Oil is incredible, but mainly because of the scent and also the formula. It's fantastic. But then I also have, I've had this for so long, the Dry Skin Hand Cream. This is my probably like only recommendation for hand creams because I really love the Tatcha one, but Tatcha, for some reason, it's not available at Sephora. So the L'Occitane Dry Skin Hand Cream. It's a really great hand cream as far as making sure you like your hands are hydrated and everything. If you guys have recommendations though, let me know. But yeah, I've had this for so long. Like, literally so long, and I still have so much left. But it is a really great product. So if you have super dry hands, that would be one I would definitely check out. I've heard really great things too about the, what is it? It's like the jar, but it's actually like body lotion or like a body cream, and I think it's a part of this same exact line. I always hear Casey Holmes talk about it, if that helps. Next one we have Lancome. I was gonna put this foundation in here too, but it's been a really long time since I've tried it. I did a dedicated video to it like a super long time ago, like probably such a cringe video, but it's fine. The Lancome the Teint Idol Ultra Wear Concealer. So this is another super natural, I'm going to say this is like light medium coverage, buildable to medium. I can't really get a full coverage out of this one, But like the Dior, it's very, very natural looking. It's beautiful. I really like the tone of this one as well because it's more cool toned than my Dior. So I have the shade Bis C because I do like typically like a more cool toned concealer, so it like almost like mutes out the like if I have any darkness or anything. I really like this applicator. It's just a little difficult to get out of the packaging sometimes. So there's a swatch of that if you're curious. But I was wearing this actually yesterday. So if you saw yesterday's video, this is the concealer I was wearing. It reminds me a lot of the Dior. I think the Dior just has a little bit more coverage. Yeah, I like the Dior better, but this one's still really good for a newer concealer. And then, Tammy, you asked earlier about the lashes, huh? LILLY lashes. This is the style NYC. So these are the lashes that are on my eyeballs right now. And let me tell you, I bought these originally during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I get so many wears out of these. So they were actually on sale during the 21 Days of Beauty again. I got like 4 pairs of each. Or I think I got 2 pairs of like 4 different ones. I really like the quality of these LILLY lashes. They come in really nice packaging. They're super like fluttery, fluffy, just everything that I look for. And these ones are tapered as well. That's just what I like. I love a tapered lash. So these ones, they're super spency. If you're not wanting to hold off and wait till another sale, because I think at Sephora they did like the half off there too. So if you don't want to wait and you're looking for a pair of lashes, like these ones I definitely recommend. And then we have Lys Beauty. I think I tried like everything from their initial launch, and everything was like good, but the one thing that blew me away was their cream blush. And I feel like this is what a lot of people really loved. Like these sold out so fast, which was awesome, especially for being like a new brand. But I'm like, the shade I think this is Confident. Yes, Confident is just, it's so beautiful. Like such a beautiful fall blush for me. But this formula, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Tower 28, except I think Tower 28 has a little bit more dew to it. They're close though. Like really close. Even like the texture kind of feels the same. They're close, but I still love my Tower 28s though. So that's everything I have for LYS. Then we have Makeup Forever, which I feel like I mention this all the time and I really don't wear it that much. This is the Matte Velvet Skin. This is if you want full coverage. If you want to look like a straight up doll. Full coverage, your face is going to probably look poreless as all hell. Like, again, straight up doll. This is the foundation I would definitely recommend. I have the shade Y325, and I feel like this would probably match me pretty good right now. Excellent foundation. Very long lasting for me as well. I'm like normal skin. Normal combo. I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty normal right now, but in the fall, winter, I get a little bit more dry. But if you know, like if you've been here for a bit, you know all about this lip liner. Like I refuse to let this lip liner die. Look at the size of it. But when I tell you, like it's really, really difficult to have a lip liner like blow me away. This is the only one that's ever been like, oh damn, like this is incredible. This is the Makeup Forever, the Aqua Lip. And the reason I say that this is so incredible is because it's creamy, but I feel like Aqua Lip is the best name for it because it is so long wearing. It's ridiculous. Like, I think if I had to do like an actual wear test comparing a lot of my lip liners, this one would probably win because it's like, it's creamy to apply it, but once it like sets, it don't go nowhere. I do have this on my lips right now. In this shade, I think it's 14C. I can't even see the shade name anymore. But I'm pretty sure it's 14C or 4C. Highly recommend the Makeup Forever Aqua Lip. I actually need to get another one of those because, again, I refuse to let that one die. And then we have Makeup by Mario. I was pleasantly surprised with Makeup by Mario with the few products that I've tried so far. So if you have any recommendations here, let me know. But I picked up, this was when these first launched in store. I got the Soft Pop Blush Stick in this shade, Earthy Pink. It's so good. Oh, I love that shade. Like, on the cheeks, it's so beautiful. Like, I love this formula. It reminds me a lot of another one that we're actually going to talk about. Packaging is like exactly the same too as the other one, but it's this shade specifically that I'm just like, oh my god. It makes me want his other shades, but I just haven't picked him up yet. But then I was so surprised at this one. His, what is it? The Soft Glow Highlighter. I have the shade Golden. This might be one of my favorite highlighters of 2021. Just because, like, I bought this and I reached for it so much. Like, I was like, wow. Like, you know how when you just reach for something and you don't even think of it? I was asking myself, like, why do you keep reaching for this? There's just something that I love about the formula, the look of the shade, like how it looks on my skin. It's so pretty. I really like the packaging too. Like when you swatch it, it doesn't look that extravagant. It's got a really small amount of glitter in it as well. I think it's because it reminds me of Dior a little bit. Maybe that's why I like it so much. But this one, it really did surprise me. Like I kind of bought it on a whim. I remember I was even shopping with my mom at Sephora. So I bought it just not even thinking. And then I was like, oh my god, I actually ended up finding something I really, really like. So then we have the Melt Cosmetics. These are the cream blush lights. I have a feeling I'm going to snag another, like, or not another. I'm going to snag one of their lip liners because I keep seeing those in a lot of people's videos. So this is the shade Polish. This was actually a gift for my birthday from one of my subscribers. And this formula is really nice, but it's this shade. It reminds me so much of a cream version of Orgasm X from Nars. If you know, you know. The obsession with Nars is so real. But if you like the look of Orgasm X, but you want it in a cream version, this one is wonderful. I have another shade, and I don't love it as much because this shade, in comparison to the other one I have, this has more of like a... It's got more of like a radiant finish to it, whereas the other one is matte. So this one, I think it just has like a different type of formula, right? I'm pretty sure. If I'm remembering correctly, that's accurate. So Polish, that one I really, really love. Then we have Milk Makeup. I debated, you guys probably think I'm tooting like this whole time because my hand keeps making that noise. So I debated putting this in here, but I'm like, okay, it's not my favorite, but I would still recommend it because longevity for my eyeshadows, it makes a difference. So this is the Milk Makeup, the Hydro Grip Eye Primer. I ended up getting this because we talked about it in new makeup releases. And we seen like pictures, seeing it like with, without. I don't think that this makes a difference as far as like making my eyeshadows like pop more or anything like that. I feel like this does make a difference for longevity of my eye looks. Because when I'm filming weddings and I wear this, my eyes don't crease. My eyes look like perfectly fine. If anything, I get like the pooling in like the outer corner like I always do. But I noticed longevity was better when I did use this. So it's still good. It's just, it's missing that pigmentation that I like in my eye primers. But then also the Milk Makeup, the Kush Fiber Brow Gel. I'm going to say the Huda one I do like better than this one, but this is still really good. I like how tiny like the brush is. I could get like perfect like little brush strokes right on the inner part, but like I said, if I had to pick between this one and the Huda, I would probably go with Huda. And then I also have to mention the Matte Cream Bronzer. This reminds me so much of the M Cosmetics, like the Soft Play, I don't even know the exact name of it, but the bronzer from M Cosmetics. Even like the shade is so similar. I think that this is sold out right now. Is anybody else surprised though? Like, the gift sets from Milk Makeup, they weren't really as impressive as they usually are. Like, normally they do gift sets of, like, a bunch of mini sizes. I would recommend, though, if you're getting this, get the mini. Because that lasted me forever. And by the time I went through it, it would have expired. Like, I was still using it, even though it was probably expired. So that's where I'm just like, if you're going to get that product, get the mini, save some money. But it's still wonderful. And then we have Moroccan oil. Another one that I'm like, I'm surprised more people don't talk about this, but maybe it's because they haven't come across it yet. So this is I think it's just like the hair oil, but it's the light version. I'll have it linked down below so you guys know exactly which one it is. So this comes also in mini sizes. There's gift sets with this one. I like the light version because it doesn't feel like it weighs down my hair as much. The scent of Moroccan oil products, though, is incredible. Like, so beautiful. I feel like this is a hair brand that very rarely goes on sale as well, at least from what I've seen. I feel like Moroccan oil, too, is kind of hard to get. I feel like the only place I ever see it is at Sephora. So this one, I'm like, okay, if I had to pick a hair oil for this sale, I'm going with Kerastase or this one right here for Moroccan oil. So I really love that one. And then we have Nars. Nars came out of fucking nowhere for me. Because I'm like, all right, I kept hearing people always talk about Nars. I'm like, I don't get the hype, I don't get the hype, I don't get the hype. Well, shit. Did I put my foot in my mouth? Because I feel like all of you know how much I talk about Nars now, right? So let me start with the only brush that I recommend during the VIB sale. Or the holiday savings event, my apologies. The Nars Ita brush. If you struggle with contour, this is an amazing, like, you could look so natural because it fits like perfectly for your contour. It can look like the most subtle natural contour, or you could look so snatched with this damn thing. It's such a good brush. I've recommended that time and time again, and I always explain it the same way. I'm like, if you struggle, that's the brush to get. It's so, so good. And then I tried, actually, within like the past few months, the Air Matte Lip Color. I have the shade Thrust and Pin Up. Another really fantastic lip formula. It reminds me kind of like, I'm going to say almost like Ofra, because it has a more like creamy or like moussey texture to it, but it's so light on the lips. Like, it looks beautiful. I think for a video I wore Thrust, and then I loved it so much that I got another shade. So there's those swatch right there. So you've got Thrust and then Pin-Ups on the bottom. Beautiful formula. I really do enjoy that one. And then I should have never started trying Nars eyeshadow palettes because now I want all of them. So I don't know what's going on with eyeshadow palettes in Nars, but I'm going to put some in here. They're not currently available, but if they show up, it's a run, don't walk. So this is the only palette that I own that I would recommend purchasing during the holiday savings event. So this is the Solstice palette. Now this one I purchased, it was summertime, I think, or like right before summer, I'm pretty sure, spring, summer, I don't know. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If you love like a warm, bronzy moment, such a good palette, beautiful packaging. This is where I say I don't understand what's going on, because it's like bits and pieces of this holiday collection are available like all over the place. So in the event that these show up, highly recommend. Like, I'm so cheating right now, but I don't even care, because this is one of the best palettes for fall. If anyone disagrees with me, I don't care. Because look at this color story. I'm like, why is this not on the Sephora site? I don't understand. Beautiful textures, beautiful shades. Like, this color story is everything. But another one that I'm like, why is this not on the Sephora site? I don't understand what's happening. This is the holiday palette. I think it's called the Bijou. I don't know how to pronounce it. Spectacular. Like, one of my favorite palettes of this year, especially like this shade right here. Like, these metallics in this palette are breathtakingly good. Like, do you see that sparkle? There's something about the sparkles in the Nars eyeshadows. They look so beautiful. Their matte formula is fantastic. The satin formula, like, everything's fantastic with these palettes. I love this, like, bondage packaging. But I don't understand, like, why is that not at Sephora? But I have a feeling it might come there because they have this palette, which is the High Profile Cheek palette. I think this is my favorite palette as far as blushes go for fall winter. Like, I really do like the formula. It's a lot more hard pressed, I think, so you got to really work your brush in there. But I was actually wearing this yesterday and I thought it looked beautiful. And just the effect that these have on the skin, it's a stunning palette. It's a great holiday sort of a moment. This bondage moment too is a whole vibe. I really like that one. But I think if I had to pick a favorite face palette that Nars has ever done, it's 100% the Orgasm X face palette, which this is not available anymore. But Orgasm X blush, they sell this in a mini size, and it's so beautiful. It's so, like, easily one of my favorite blushes. If you love a coral blush, so gorgeous. Like, I'm a sucker. Swatches do nothing for me for blush, but it's so, so good. So if you're looking for a corally blush, Nars Orgasm X is fantastic. Love it. Then we have Natasha Denona. I can't believe y'all, if y'all are still watching from the beginning, give this video a thumbs up because you deserve a prize. How long have we been here? An hour and a half. Holy crap. Okay. Natasha Denona. Oh, no. No. Oh, my God. How dare I? I thought I was done with NARS. I'm not. How dare I? Oh, my God. If you're wondering what's on my lips right now, it's the Audacious lipsticks. Literally one of my favorite lipsticks of all time. If these come in stock, love these. But they're not on the website currently, so I'm not going to waste any of our time. But I was wearing, I think, Mona yesterday. Beautiful. But the shade that I'm wearing today is, I think, Barbara? No, it's Anna. Yes, right? Yes, Anna is what is on my lips right now. This is why I love these. Ready? Let's make sure you guys could see. One swipe, full pigment. These do not come to play. And for being like, I don't even know how they classify these, like if they consider them matte. These are like a perfect, like not quite matte, not quite satin. They're like a right in the middle because it has like a slight shine to it. So maybe leaning more towards like a satin. One of the most long-lasting satin formulas like of all time. If you have tried, I feel like if you've tried NARS, you've probably tried this one. I don't think you'd really try one before the other. Like, I don't think you've tried an Hermes lipsticks before you've tried a NARS, but I could be wrong. If you're familiar with the NARS, or what the fuck? If you're familiar with the Hermes, this is probably the closest that I found to the NARS Audacious. Because I found the NARS Audacious so long ago. And when I use these, I'm like, oh, this satin formula. Because I love those Hermes lipsticks. I think they're so beautiful. So, oh my God, how dare I almost forget. Frickin' NARS Audacious. Okay, Natasha Denona. This is where I'm like, okay, if you're going to buy palettes, this is the brand to buy. Just because. So I have probably the most... Notice I haven't really talked about a ton of palettes, right? So I'm going to start with actually the lipstick. So this one's, I love the formula, but I love this shade, especially for this time of year. So this is the I Need a Nude lipstick in the shade Yana. This is another one that's like one swipe application. Tell me that is not like a beautiful brownie tone nude. It's so beautiful. Like the lip liners are also really nice, but I do prefer like the Makeup Forever ones. But packaging, I have like 3 others of these. I really do like this formula. But where I love Natasha Denona is her eyeshadow palettes. Like if there's a color story that's appealing to you for Natasha, this is the time to grab it. But these are some of my favorites. So I always come back to this mini gold palette. Like, this is my favorite palette that she's done of the minis, just because it's so, like, up my alley. I love green eyeshadows, and it's just everything about this. I love it so, so much. I think it's such a great price. And then I also have the new retro palette. This is another one you guys haven't seen me use on my channel at all, but every single wedding that I filmed since I've gotten this is what I wore. I think this is like my perfect Natasha Denona palette. I hear a lot of people say that this is what everybody wished that the Love palette was. By the way, I was just listening to Morgan Turner on her video. The Love palette is still marked down like half off. Throw that in the cart if you want 20% off, just saying. But back to the retro. I just think this is so beautiful. Like, these are just shades that look so fantastic on my eyes, and the formulas are incredible. Like, I love this shade Psychedelic. Like, this goes on my lids every single time I've used it. Perfect palette for, like, everyday events, weddings, especially if you got green eyes. That's, like, such a perfect palette for you. And then I also really love... I was kind of debating between this or the Melt Mary Jane, but I feel like, especially because of the hype, I'm going to say Natasha Denona Glam, just because, especially if you're buying, like, a gift or something, this just, it has more of a selection as well, so it's like, this palette is just so beautiful. Like, what a perfect, cool tone palette, and I love this, like, midi size palette. I really like that she's doing these, because the other palettes, it's almost, like, so much wasted space, it's really big eyeshadows. Like, this is just perfect for me. Like, I want to own all of her midi size because I really do enjoy them. The bronze is the next one on my list. So I'm like, if y'all see it on sale, let me know. But then I have, of course, the Metropolis. This is my favorite palette that Natasha Denona has done because I love the structure. I love this packaging. Like, this whole thing is a moment. And this is just a palette. It's so ideal for, like, all year long. I could do spring, summer, fall, winter. You've got the pops of color in there. It's $129, but I don't mind spending it when you're getting this many shades. And you're getting such a beautiful formula. And such a beautiful color story. Like, such an oldie but a goodie. Remember that this was limited edition for last year and it's still available? I really hope that she does another one of these. But I still really want the Biba. I don't have that one yet. So maybe one day I'll own Biba. As for now, I think that's everything that I had for Natasha Denona. Then we have Nudesticks. So Nudesticks, I've got one product because everything I've tried, it's pretty much just, like, fine. But this, I was talking about in comparison to the Makeup by Mario. These, like, reminded me of each other. But this is the shade Poppy Girl in the Nudies Bloom. This is the experience that I had. I would say stick with the Nudies Bloom. Like, the matte formulas for Nudesticks, questionable. Like, so dry. Like, it was so hard for me to blend them out. This formula, though, this is another, like, Orgasm X type of moment, except it's a little bit poppier. Oh, I love this. Like, this in spring and summer is so beautiful because it has so much dew and so much shine to it. It's stunning. Oh, there it is. See, you can see the dew right there. Kind of similar to Tower 28. Kind of. Like, I feel like this is more similar than the LYS. Just because Tower 28 too has that dew like that one. And I love that because it looks beautiful. So that's everything I had for Nudesticks. Then we have Olaplex. Which, let me take a drink for that. Okay. I don't understand how I forgot to mention this in my top 25 gift sets. As soon as I got done, I'm like, I know I forgot something. And it was this set. This is one of the best sets to get for holiday. So add this to my top 25. So Olaplex. I cannot be without Olaplex. I just actually used my favorite product, which is the Olaplex number 3, which comes in this gift set. This is my holy grail from their products because it makes such a difference. It's almost like a hair, it's called a hair perfector. And that's exactly what it does. It's something that you use before you shampoo your hair. So it's basically like a hair mask. You put it on, let it sit, rinse it out, shampoo and condition your hair. Read the directions. So this one, I'm just like, fucking game changer. I love it. I also really love the number 4, the Bond Maintenance Shampoo, which is also in this gift set. The conditioner is also fantastic, which is also in this gift set. That's where I say I'm like, this is one of the best gift sets. The hair oil is amazing. Like, this is where I'm at with Olaplex. Everything that they do is good. I actually just used, if my hair looks different today than it did yesterday, I used the purple shampoo today. So that's what we're looking like today if you go back and compare. But I think that it reminds me of, like, the milkshake, right? What was it called? Milkshake purple shampoo. I reviewed that a really long time ago and it turned my hair purple. That's going to be a product you need to be very careful with because that is very pigmented. So I highly recommend anything that Olaplex does, but if I had to pick one, I know that they even had a jumbo size of the number 3 now. This is it. This is 100% that bitch when it comes to Olaplex. I love their products. Then we have one size. So I've just come to the realization that one size products don't really fit my makeup aesthetic the way that I want them to. Because when you look at Patrick Starr, who's the owner, he's like very full glam, full face beat, which there's a time and a place for that for me. But on average, I feel like his stuff is just like too much or it's like too pigmented or too much coverage type of thing. So I love his, what is this? The translucent setting powder. I don't know the exact name of it, but this is, the ultimate setting powder. That's it. This is a really, really great product. That's actually what's on my face today. It helps basically like, everything just kind of smooths out. It lasts all day. I think if I had to pick one that's going to make me look most like matte throughout the day, this is the one I would go for. Whereas the Hourglass, it kind of lets your natural oils kind of peek through a little bit. This is going to hold up a little bit better for longevity, I think. But both of those powders are fantastic. So that's the only like straight winner for me out of his line. And then we have Way, which, do I have anything right now? No, I think I just ran out of the conditioner. I wanted to basically just talk about the Detox Max again because I recommended that in my top 25. I forgot to pull up a picture for it. But it's the Detox Mask. I have it linked down below. You get the Detox Mask and the leave-in conditioner. I said I was going to follow up and see if it was available anywhere else. And I only see it available at Sephora right now. So I'm probably going to make an order for the Detox shampoo because I compare that a lot to the Briogeo the Briogeo shampoo, how I said it gets everything out of your hair and it does all that, like gets all the gunk and stuff, all the buildup. The Detox shampoo does the exact same thing, except the scent of it is completely different. Like, some people don't like banana and coconut, but if you like something that smells very fragrant, very florally, very like just left the spa and it's gonna linger for days, the Detox shampoo is where it's at. That's such a great product. And then we have Pat McGrath, which I may or may not have purchased the Utopian Dream because it was on sale for 30% off at the Pat McGrath site. So the first thing I want to mention, and probably my favorite product, no, second favorite, I have another product that I love more, the Pat McGrath Concealer. This is the most full coverage, but natural. Almost like how I explained the Gucci foundation. Like, you get coverage, but it looks so beautiful. This is another, like, event concealer for me. I actually picked up another one of these during the Pat McGrath sale. Such a great product, though. Like, highly recommend the concealer. But my favorite product from Pat McGrath is 100% her glosses. Like, I love that she does these, like, mini kits. These are all the same shade. I love Pale Fire Nectar. I think it's so beautiful. But all of the Lust glosses, amazing. I think if I had to pick like top 5, maybe even top 3, Pat McGrath's formula would be in there. It's one of my absolute favorites. So really love her glosses. Then we have her under eye setting powder, which the only downfall for me with this one is the like chintzy packaging. I don't really love that, but I've used quite a bit of this and I just really like this because I can't do like a really heavy setting on my under eye. But this blurs, like, everything out, and it's so finely milled. So if you struggle with, like, fine lines, wrinkles, this would be one I would definitely recommend. But I think my top recommendation for this sale would be the holiday face palettes, because these weren't available during her 30% off. So I did plan on getting the other shade of this one, because I have the shade Divine Rose, Desert Orchid, and Golden Nectar. So this is Galactic Sun. It's beautiful. I love the formula of her blushes, though. Like, I slept on these, I'm not gonna lie. And then the other palette, it's supposed to be a little bit more vibrant, but this is another one. Venice did it to me. Venice compared Desert Orchid to Becca Songbird, and I'm just like, shit. Because that's one of my favorite blushes of all time. And then I just love the fact that it's 2 blushes and a highlighter, so I definitely plan on getting the other one of these because of how happy I am with this formula. I just wish the packaging, like, I wish this sticker wasn't crooked. Like, that's why I hate stickers. Like, you guys always hear me bitch about stickers. It's like, when I'm paying $52 for a palette, I don't want my sticker to be crooked. Please and thank you so much. But that aside, the formula's fantastic. Then we have Patrick Ta. Patrick Ta. Okay. I feel like his brand is so hyped right now. As it should be, because he does make beautiful product. So another lip liner that really did blow me away, aside from the Makeup Forever, is his, except for it's a very different shape, so it's a little bit tricky for me. So I have the shade, what is it? She's Not From Here. I just really like how he does these lip liners that match like exactly with his lipsticks. But let me tell you about his lipstick and lip liner formula. Insanely long lasting, especially like his lipsticks. I think these are going to be very similar to the Makeup by Mario because they have that suede texture to them. But these are insanely long-lasting for lipsticks. And the shades that I have, I got these for spring and summer, like bright orange and bright pink. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, 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 no. See, that's why you don't roll it all the way up, Brittany. Good job. Well, you got kind of a swatch there. Shit. And then I also got the hot pink. Let me learn from my mistake, and I'll just swatch the pink right under there. Super vibrant. Very, I'm going to say tough. Like, when you're applying this, it feels tough until you actually, like, get applying it. So it's not like the Nars where it's like, whoop, and it's full coverage, everything. You definitely need to, you know, work it into your lips a little bit. But I think this formula, and then in conjunction with his liners, it works so nicely together. And it helps that it's, like, the same exact shade. But it almost feels like a very similar formula to one another because they both have that, like, little bit of tug to them. Which, when it has that, it makes it seem like it's going to last a little bit longer. So I do like his lipsticks and lip liners. But this is one that I slept on these lip glosses for so long. And this is why. Because I hate a lip gloss that you need to dunk and dunk and dunk. And this is a lip gloss, it's like, you need to dunk and dunk and dunk, but it's worth it when you do it because it's like every layer that you put on, it transforms. Oh, let me see if I can get this swatch for you guys. Because these glosses have such a beautiful, like, glitter reflect to them. There we go. I'm like, can I get it? So it's like, oh, it's not translating the best. On the lips, I promise you, it looks way prettier than it does. Like, it looks beautiful in this. I actually think this might be expired. But it looks beautiful in the component, but on the lips, like, as you build it, you're just like, oh, that's why. But you just have to go in time and time again, which I don't love that. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. But it's still a beautiful formula, and it has that, like, minty sort of a sensation, which I love. And then we have what I feel like is getting all the rave right now are his blushes. So he's got that blush palette, which I'm pretty sure it restocked yesterday or today. If it's not in stock online, check in store if you can. Because I've seen it in store. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe it'll sell out. So I have two of the shades. I have Do We Know Her? And then I also have She's From LA. But at first I wasn't going to get the palette. Like, I'm like, I have these two. I don't need it. But then I saw it in store, and I'm like, oh, that one deep shade looks so beautiful. And then the other two for, like, spring and summer. I feel like that should have launched earlier. Maybe it was supposed to. Who the hell knows? But his blush formulas, I love using it how he recommends. Like, put the powder down first and then put the cream on top. Because it really does take it to, like, a whole different level. Very pigmented, though, but easily to blend out. It's beautiful. So I definitely recommend that. And then, obviously, his eyeshadow palette. Oh, it's available at Sephora right now. Hopefully it's available in, like, a couple hours. Who's going to get it if it's available? So the Patrick Ta for Eyes, the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. I don't know what's coming over me. I have become such a fan of, like, cream shadows lately. I don't know who I think I am. So this palette, it's just like bronzy goodness. If you love a bronzy ass eyeshadow look, this is the one for you. The textures of this are beautiful. And you know what? These are some of my favorite cream products that I've ever tried in an eyeshadow palette because it feels almost like tough when you stick your finger in there. But when you, like, work your finger, like, they're so pigmented, but the way that these blend out looks so incredible on your eyes. I can't tell you how many times I've worn this and everybody's like, oh my god, what's on your eyes? And it's usually this as a base. And I was kind of surprised at myself because I'm like, I'm not going to use those. I use those every single time I use this palette. Like, it just makes so much sense in this palette. So I definitely recommend this one. I think it's such a gorgeous eyeshadow palette. Then we have Peace Out, which I don't have these right now. I'm going to cross my fingers because I don't have them right now because my face isn't breaking out anymore, but we'll see how long that lasts. I wanted to mention the Acne Healing Dots. So I know that there's some that are less expensive that are at, like, Walmart. I got them for, like, $1 before I've tried them. There's something in these that is pure magic. Like, okay, so you basically put these on your blemishes before you go to sleep. Sleep with it on, you'll wake up, and your blemish is significantly diminished compared to what it looked like. At least that's what happened to me. I love these damn things. Like, if I were to have, like, a really bad breakout or one of those, like, really deep, painful pimples, pop one of these babies on there, you'll wake up the next day and it will, like, it almost feels like it, like, pulls it out of your skin. It's so bizarre, but something about these acne healing dots is incredible. I love these things, but I don't purchase them all the time. But in comparison to the ones at Walmart, there's no comparison. Those are way better. They're definitely worth the money, in my humble opinion. Then we have Rare Beauty, which I'm still upset. I'm upset that she didn't give us a set with all of the illuminators. Like, she needs to do a set of minis of all of her illuminators because these are the best product that she has. I don't care what anybody says. Especially this shade here. So I bought the shade Captivate because I loved Mesmerize so much. So I bought it as like a blush. So if you're deeper skin tone, this will probably work really well for a highlighter as it's like intended to. But I'm like, the shade of this, like, I love like a rusty looking shade. But this shade Mesmerize, oh my gosh. This is actually the shade that's in her little like Selena's picks for her, like her top picks or something like that. This on the eye, or on the face, on the eyes, what am I talking about? I don't want this to dump out, because this is a very liquidy formula. It's so beautiful. I'm doing this no justice, like, at all. Let me try to find a spot on my hand and give this the justice it deserves, because I do say you need to kind of be careful with this one, putting it on top, like, if you put it on top of, like, your foundations, because I think it could potentially break up your makeup. But damn, like, look how beautiful. It reminds me of the Pillow Talk Beauty Light Wand, if you're familiar with the Charlotte Tilbury ones. Think Pillow Talk, and that's almost exactly what it is. Beautiful, but very different formula from Charlotte Tilbury. And then my next favorite product that she's done is her setting spray. But I don't like this for, like, longevity. I like this for transforming my makeup. And that's kind of how I feel about the Veil from Hourglass as well. It just makes everything, like, melt into your skin. And it makes your skin, like, a little bit dewier. So if you don't like a dewy finish, I probably wouldn't recommend this one. There's something in this. I feel like even on TikTok, there was, like, a really big hype around this, saying, like, there's something in this that's so special. But one of my favorite things about it is the spa-like scent that this has is gorgeous. So I really love those products. A lot of missed products for me, but it's like when they're good, like this one, it's so good. Mesmerize is so beautiful. Okay, that's everything from Rare Beauty. Beauty, not Beauty. What the hell? Now we have Sephora collection. So I haven't tried a lot of Sephora collection in my day, but one that I always come back to and I'm like, man, these are so good. Like, these are high-end good. The cream stains. Technically, they're liquid lipsticks, but the cream stains are so good from Sephora, and the color selection that they have is incredible. These are like $14. And Sephora collection, I believe, is 30% off. I think. Yes, I'm pretty sure. I forgot to mention earlier, too, with Dyson. Dyson, you can only get one product. That's a stipulation. If you read the fine print, there are some stipulations when it comes to the holiday savings event. So there's that. Then we have Shiseido. I forgot to bring these down, but I just ran out of basically like my the wrapper for these because I use these every single day. The Shiseido facial cottons. Like, Patty, I saw you in the live chat. I'm so glad that you're one of the only other people that I hear talk about this. This serum with the Shiseido cotton pads, like, get yourself some luxury cotton pads because they make such a big difference. Like, you can apply this with your hands, but when you apply your serums, anything like in a liquid form, if you apply it with a facial cotton, I promise you it's different. At least it is for me. Like, maybe it's a mental thing, but I'm like, I just feel like everything like penetrates my skin so much better when I use a cotton versus just using my hands. Maybe it's just me, but these are well worth it. I love them. Then we have Slip, which I purposely wore this on my wrist so I didn't forget to talk about it. So I linked below basically like all of the Slip scrunchies because not everybody loves like this size. There's bigger ones. I think there's some with like charms or not charms, like little maybe like crystals or something. I love the Slip scrunchies. They're well worth it. I think they're amazing. And these do stretch out over time. So I think this is going to be like a yearly purchase. I mentioned this in my top 25 gifts as well because they have like this little ornament looking thing, which is super cute. I'm probably going to get like a bunch of scrunchies just because I ran out of a bunch of them because I have no idea where they are. This is the only one that's like hanging on. Highly recommend Slip scrunchies because I'm someone that has to wear my hair up a lot. And since I switched over to Slip, my hair doesn't break as much. Like I used to have breakage so bad, but it's because of the hair ties that I was using. So I switched over to these and I have not ever looked back. I think it's incredible. Then we have Sol de Janeiro. So this is a brand you really don't hear me mention in this time of the year video either, just because I'm like, okay, I feel like literally everything, like I literally pulled up the website just to be like, all of this is amazing. The only thing, this is going to be more helpful. The only thing that I didn't like so far was the shampoo and conditioner, just because I had a lot of buildup on my hair. But let's give it a rundown. The Coco Cabana cream, this is the one, if I was to purchase during, like, this sale, it would be this fragrance, because I just like this better for fall and winter. But I wish that they would do the Boom Boom Cream scent with this formula, because there's something different about this that it lasts so much longer. I do feel that the Kiehls that we talked about earlier, that lasts even longer. But this one, I know a lot of people don't like the fragrance of it. It smells almost like buttered popcorn, which I love. But I love the lotions. I love the body wash. Literally everything. Even like the bronze oil is so beautiful. It smells amazing. Like literally everything smells so good. Love it. Love it all. Highly recommend Sol de Janeiro. That's all I really got, because I'm like, everything, especially the holiday sets, like that's where I would direct everybody, is like, look at their holiday sets, because that's, if anything, like the time to get something would be to get like the Biggie Biggie Boom Boom, because this is not always in stock. So this is like a good gift option if you know somebody that loves it. I feel like that's what I would shop if I was shopping Sol de Janeiro for the sale. Makes sense? I hope so. Then we have Saint Tropez, which I have 2 products, and then I found actually like a little gift set. I have it linked. I have only tried Saint Tropez, and I have not looked back. Like, I only really self-tan in like the fall winter. I'm not self-tan right now. Clearly, this is still like brand new. I just got this during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, but this is the Saint Tropez, the Advanced 1 Hour Tan Bronzing Mousse. I love letting this sit on my skin for like 4 hours, like 3 to 4 hours. Do not sleep with this on your skin. It's not intended for that, but I tried it once. Don't do it. It's so much patchier if you do that. This, I just feel like it's got a really nice color guard to it. It wears really gracefully. Like, the only place that I really notice it wears is where my thighs rub together. But even for the areas that tend to, like, darken up quicker, like your elbows, your wrists, your fingers, like I don't get like that traditional, like when you see people with like straight up orange hands, I have never gotten that from this. So I think it's a very like natural looking bronze, if that makes sense. So then I also wanted to recommend this mitt, because when I initially bought this, it came with a mitt that wasn't quite as like nice as this one. This one is worth, it's like $8. I just wash it in between each use, but it's so much better quality. But there is a little gift set that I saw on Sephora that you can get like a mini size of this plus this, and it's like 20 or 25 bucks or something like that. So if you're like new to self-tanners or something like that, that would be a good set. But I mean, this is the time of the year that I'm getting my self-tanners, but I still don't like faithfully self-tan like some people. Ain't nobody got time for that. Then we have Summer Fridays. I wanted to talk about the jet lag mask. If you have dry skin, basically same thing that I said about the BELIF Aqua Bomb. Like, this just gives the most amazing results to my skin, especially if it's dry. But where my favorite thing to use this is when I fly. I mean, obviously it's called jet lag mask. Every single time that I fly, a mini size, it goes in my purse. I apply this while I'm on the plane and I get to where I'm going and my skin feels amazing. This really does make a huge difference and it's like instant. It's such a good product. I'm so glad that they brought it back. But I'm kind of nervous because I think they reformulated. I hope it's as good as it used to be because especially for dry skin, it used to be amazing. Amazing. Then we have literally my favorite skincare brand. I could sit here for hours and hours and hours and talk about Tatcha. I'm going to do this relatively quickly for you guys because I'm always talking about Tatcha. Rice Wash, Dewy Skin Cream. Those are like my holy grails. Camellia Cleansing Oil. The gift sets. They have really great gift sets for holiday right now. I'm eyeing the one that has the Rice Wash, the Dewy Skin Cream, and then the like Dewy Serum or something like that. I don't even know what the hell it is. But I love Tatcha skincare products. They're my everything and more. Watch my empties. How many empties that I've gone through. I have 2 of these at all time. One stays in my sink. One stays in my shower. This is just literally the best cleanser of all time. Because it has almost like a pasty consistency to it. So it's like, it really gets in there. But then if you mix in like a little bit of water, it'll lather up really nicely. But it's almost like you can feel some sort of like exfoliating property in there, but it's not abrasive on the skin. Like this is literally the perfect cleanser after you do like your cleansing oil or your cleansing balm. Go in with this after and it's going to get everything else off your skin. It's such a beautiful face wash and it's like every face wash on the market wishes it was the Rice Wash. That's at least me in my humble opinion. But it's like I love, I forgot to bring it down, the eye cream. I did a dedicated review to that. I don't think that does anything as far as if you have darkness. I used to think that it creased my concealers, but I just think I wasn't using the best concealers. But I also find, too, since I do a concealer with a sponge, it really doesn't crease either. So it's like, I think I kind of spoke ahead of myself when I was noticing that. But if you have fine lines, if you have, like, I have a lot of texture under here. Like, as far as, like, think of like sand or gravel, like how it's textured. I have that right underneath my eyes. That is the only eye cream that has ever changed my under eyes. But if you have darkness, it's not going to do a damn thing. It's just not. I don't feel like really any eye cream will. But I also really love the Liquid Silk Canvas that's on my face right now. Where did the full size go? I always keep this little one on deck. And then I just refill it every time I travel or something because I love this primer. I love the texture. My skin loves Tatcha. Loves it so much. So I do recommend the Silk Canvas, like the original as well. I just prefer the liquid version. I did a video comparing these two. Very, very, like, minimal difference. I couldn't tell really much of a difference at all. I think it's just going to come down to what your skin type is, what your preferences are. I think if you're more dry, you will probably like the liquid. If you're more oily, you'll probably like the original. But again, I can only speak for myself and my experience, but literally like anything Tatcha is hot fire. So let's talk about Mr. Tom Ford, okay? We're getting closer to the end, okay? If you're wondering what's on my eyeballs today, I think this is one of my favorite recommendations from Tom Ford. And this would be the perfect time to get it. This is the Cream and Powder Eye Color in the shade Naked Bronze. I have like 4 or 5 different shades of these. Naked Bronze is by far my favorite. This is for like the everyday. It's got a cream shadow and then it's got the powder on top. These do kind of get like the illusion of hard pan. If you're familiar with the Glow by Auric, it's like the same thing as like the Smoke Reflex, except this has plastic packaging and that has glass. But it's like the shade of this. Look how beautiful. Stunning. But I think that this, because I wore a different shade the other day for a wedding of the Auric, and it creased. The Tom Ford doesn't ever crease. So I don't know. I'm still testing to see like which one's better. I like the packaging of the Auric better. But the Naked Bronze, it's beautiful. And it's so easy. Like if you saw how fast I was able to do my eyes, and these are like 50 or 60 bucks, like so expensive, but saving that money, this is like the perfect time to get these. I love it. And then I feel like this is getting such hype on TikTok right now. This is the Traceless, the Soft Matte Foundation. Beautiful foundation. It has a more like lavender type fragrance to it. So if you don't like fragrance in your stuff, you probably won't like this one. Same with the Gucci. Gucci's very fragrant. I forgot to mention that earlier. But this foundation, it's not matte. I don't know why it's called soft matte because it ain't fucking matte. It's very natural. It's really beautiful. I've worn this time and time again. I know Michaela on TikTok is saying how it's her like her wedding. It's going to be her wedding makeup or her wedding foundation. It's beautiful. It's not my favorite of all the ones that we talked about today. I actually prefer like the Dior, the Tower. Like I just think my skin looks so good when I wear this Tower 28. So I still really love it. I still highly recommend it. It's just, it's natural, but it's definitely more like on the matte side, but it's still not matte. Does that make sense? I'm like, how much can I confuse you guys today? So there's that. Then we have some lip products. I really, really like the lip color and then also the satin lip color. So I have the shade Casablanca, which I feel like, I think this was sent to me, but I've gotten this like 4 or 5 times over in just like gifts with purchases or like his gift sets or whatever. Just a really great like solid, I'm going to say like soft matte formula, but it's not really matte. It's more of like, I don't know, like whenever I hear matte with luxury, it's never matte. It's always got like a slight sheen to it. But the satin lip color, I have the shade To Die For. This came out with like the Rose Prick collection. This formula, it's so, oh my god, it's so pretty. Oh, I love it. It's got that shine to it. It almost looks like a lipstick gloss, but it's not like as shiny as a gloss. I don't know, it's really nice. And I love this Rose Prick packaging for the lipstick, so it's beautiful. Really enjoy that. And then I have had this for so long, and I was laughing because Morgan was just saying the same thing as I was watching her. This Tom Ford, the Eye Defining Pen. I don't use really like liner like this often. Like I'm using it more now because this is actually a lash glue, but if I did, it's this one. There's something that makes liner so much easier with this pen. I know it's expensive, but it's worth it. And the reason I say it's worth it is because I've had this for years. Years. And it still is not dry. Like, I don't understand how this lasts so long. Like, this, you will not have to, like, repurchase ever. Because you would think, like, I've had it for so long, even though I'm not using it, it would still dry out. Nope. This would be 100% worth the splurge if you're looking for an amazing black for, like, a wing liner moment. And then, I got, like, a little mucusy right there. Yuck. I've talked about this blush before. And I'm like, okay, it's nice, but it's not worth $90 fucking dollars. Like, the Shade and Illuminate blushes, like, these are really, really beautiful. But they're so expensive, and it's like, I just, if you're gonna get it, you're gonna want to get it when it's on sale. Because it is really pretty. Like, if you're a Tom Ford lover, collector, whatever the case is, like, it is still really pretty. It's just like, do you need to pay full price? No. Somehow I got like a gash in this side, and I'm just like, I would on a freaking $90 blush. It's pretty. I would recommend it, but I would not pay full price for it because I was expecting it to like blow me away. It is nice though. Like, I don't want to talk shit because I'm like, ooh, it is nice though. I have the shade, what is it? Explicit Flush. I want to get it's like cherry something. I want to get that one, but I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money on a blush again. Okay, and then if you're wondering, the face highlighter that was originally on my face, it's the Tom Ford, the Sheer Highlighting Duo in the shade Reflex Gilt. I think I recommend this like every single time I talk in the Sephora recommendations because it's so spency. This packaging is so beautiful, but this formula is so good. So beautiful. I love this. It's one of the most flattering, I think. But it's like high shine. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love this. It's well worth the price, especially at a discounted price. Love it. I think that's everything from Tom Ford. You know what? I'm going to say this because I just think it would be a nice gift. And I think it's a beautiful formula. gonna do it because I really do like Tom Ford's wet dry formula. Like, I'm so pissed because, so this is Body Heat. This was in the, what was it? Rose Prick collection. There's a new palette. It's in the Lost Cherry packaging. And it's the same palette. It's still Body Heat. But when that was Honeymoon, well, when we thought it was Honeymoon, I was so excited because I wanted that color story so bad in the worst way in that packaging because of how much I really do enjoy the wet dry formula. It's very different though. It's like very basic bitch, very everyday, like, I don't know, it's just so different from a lot of what I'm used to, but it's very, like, sophisticated and bougie, and then just having that, like, special packaging, even this packaging, like, the Naked Pink and the Eye Color Quad, I think it's the Soleil collection, or Soleil Neige, I don't know, but it's, like, if this had more dimension, like, this was even still, like, really great quality eyeshadows, it's just the shades were kind of a miss, but this packaging's so pretty, so it's, like, if there's a Tom Ford eye color quad that you like the look of the palette itself, like you really like the shades, like I think if I had to pick a favorite color story, I have yet to touch this, but like metallic denim, this is such a beautiful color story. I love it. So it's like, I still buy them. And especially if it's on sale, like this is the time to get like a Tom Ford eye color quad if you wanted it. Especially the wet dry formula. I do think it's fantastic. Y'all can blame Mo Makeup for that. Mo Makeup, Mo Beauty. Because she's put me onto so much Tom Ford shit. It's ridiculous. So then, I was talking earlier about the Hourglass mascara. And I found one that I like even more. And the reason I like this one more is because it has a brush applicator. And I just hauled this during my friends and family sale. But I've used it every single time since. This is from Velour Lashes, and this is the Pretty Big Deal Peptide and Tubing Mascara, 3-in-1 Lash Serum, Lash Shield, and Mascara. I cannot speak on if it's done anything for my eyelashes. I almost said eyebrows. But it's a tubing formula, which I really, really love. But it's a brush applicator, and it's so much better on my sensitive eyes, and it's just like, okay, the only thing that I need a mascara for is to coat my lashes so they blend with my false lashes. I don't ever just wear mascara. If I do, it's in a live stream and it's just because I don't feel like putting on lashes. But if I'm like going out or if I'm doing something, if I'm doing my makeup, I'm putting lashes on. So I just need something that's going to be like boop, 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 blend them in and come off really easily. That's why I'm always looking for tubing mascaras. So this one was a success for me. So little Sephora haul update there. That's my current favorite tubing mascara, which is shocking. So then we have some Westman Atelier. Guys, we're almost there. We're almost done. So Westman Atelier, I'm wearing the shade Biscuit as my contour today. So I have Biscuit contour, and then I had the Tower 28 bronzer on top of it. This is, for me, not loving cool tones, this works so well for my skin tone because it's like the perfect amount of coolness. You would think it's like neutral, but it's slightly cooler than neutral. It's just like a perfect shade. This was gifted to me, but I would still pay for this because it's that good. I really like the formula of these. Love the packaging. I love the whole aesthetic of Westman Atelier. So very luxurious, very bougie, clean beauty, like luxury beauty at Sephora and clean. So then we have these highlight sticks. So I have the shade Lit and also Brulee. I really hope that these little like gift sets are available in store tomorrow because I am going shopping in store. I can't wait. But I'm still going to have to place an order online because a lot of what I do want is only available online. So I love these. Like the shade Lit, this is another one. Mo put it on to me. It's so pretty because it looks white. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it. It looks white. Let me put it on my finger. But it has the most, oh, you could see it there. It has the most beautiful purple reflect to it, but then it has that dewy texture to it. So it's got like a little bit of like, you kind of look like you're sweating, but not. This one is so unique. I love it. And then Brulee, I don't even know why I got, actually I know why I got the shade. It's because of the packaging. So I got this one first, and then I had actually had the second one was sent to me. So that's the shade Brulee, which I could still make it work for basically like a blush. It's almost like a coppery blush on my skin tone. A tone that I would honestly love. But as far as it being like a highlighter on me, this is not it. If you are, I would say like deep, maybe even tan, deep, maybe even deep dark, this would probably work as a highlight for you. But if I had to pick one, it's definitely lit. But I do plan on picking up the gift set so I can get the other shade. Because I think that they're so beautiful. And I just love the packaging. I love it. And then, last but not least, YSL. I have one product from YSL, and I only have one shade, but the Tatouage Couture Matte Stains. These were one of my favorite lip formulas, like, of all time. Just because of how... Oh, where do I got space? Just because of how sheer it applies. Like, it's a true stain, but you could also build it up to be so pigmented. But this feels like nothing on your lips. I remember when I first mentioned this in like a recommendations video, so many people got it for this shade. But this formula is so nice. If you want to feel like literally there's no product on your lips at all, this is definitely the one. As you build it up, obviously you'll start to feel it a little bit more. But once it dries down, like, it'll transfer a little bit. But because it's a stain, it doesn't like get all funky on your lips. Like, this is a solid lip product. I need to get more shades of this. Like, what the fuck am I doing? So, after all that, guys, after all that, how long have we been here? 2 hours and 15 minutes. Holy shit. It was so long, so many products, but I just wanted to do a little bit different this time. I bet you next time I won't do nearly this many. If you guys want me to do like a more condensed version, like as the sale's going on, I could absolutely do that. But I was like, I really want to look at everything, all the products I usually don't mention, just so if you guys are curious about not only the new but the old products, like, are they still good? Like, I went through so much. It was crazy. So let's open it up for a little chitty chat. Like, what are you guys eyeing during the sale? Is you guys have questions on anything? Let's do it. I got a drink to finish. Girl, I know. Still, like, I'm over here dying. Oh, I love that. You left it playing while you were sleeping. Damn, that was so many products. So, like, is there anything I talked about today that you guys love, hate? I'm so nosy. I'm so curious. And I see that there's 190 thumbs ups, guys. We could do better. Come on. Come through. Oh, let's see. YSL is your fave. It's so good. Listen, you guys are rock stars for listening to my ass for this long. Because I'm like, I knew it was going to be long. But damn. Thank you, Gemma. Thoughts on Anastasia Cream Bronzer? I almost mentioned the Soft Glam and the Modern Renaissance palettes today. But I was like, no. Because I haven't used them in a really long time. But I don't have their cream bronzer. I haven't tried anything from Anastasia in a minute. I think the next thing that I try from ABH is going to be the concealer. Because people are saying that it's comparable to the Tom Ford. But cream bronzer, I think I said bronzer. I have no experience on that one. So I would be no help for you there. I'm sorry. Molly, but what'd you add to your cart though? You want the Tom Ford foundation? Is the shade and Illuminate available? Because I didn't think it was available at Sephora. But it is a really, really nice foundation. I have, just so if you guys are wondering the shade I'm 5.6 Ivory Beige. That's the one that I have. Let's see. Has anyone tried the YSL spray? I have not, but we'll have the live chat catch up if they have. Have you tried truffle on your skin tone? What was truffle? What was truffle? Let's see. Ebony's. Girl, you already know there's going to be a haul. Oh, thank you, Melody. You guys are the best. Oh, let's see. I love listening to your accent. I know I'm weird, but I love it. It's so funny because people always say they think I'm from, like, the Midwest. And I'm like, no, upstate New York. Oh, let's see. I have been lusting after the Armani cream bronzers. They finally showed up at Sephora but are out of stock. Figures. Go figure. I haven't heard, I don't think, anything really about them. Only thing anyone has ever stopped me and asked what I was wearing is the YSL Rouge Bomb and burnt Zellige? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know what it is, and I don't think I'd like that color. Girl, you know hauls tomorrow. You already know. You already know. What shade are you in the Tower 28? Okay, let's go back to that. Where is it? Oh my god, it's going to be at the bottom of this box. Oh, can I remember? It's something Dune. Hold on. I'll find it. I'll try not to break my products in the meantime. Hold the phone, everyone. I have 2 shades. I have 2. There we go. So I'm wearing the shade 35 Point Doom. So Venice, that's probably you. or no, I'm wearing 45 Silver Lake, I think. No, I'm wearing Silver Lake. Yes. Point Doom is lighter. So these are the 2 shades that I have. These were both sent to me, by the way, but I would definitely buy these. I would buy probably 45 Silver Lake because I like how this looks on my skin a little bit better. I think there was a recent video. I mentioned I was wearing this. It wasn't like the past 2 days. It was before then. I was wearing Point Doom. Actually, if you check my Instagram, I think I'm wearing Point Doom on there too. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, let's see. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. You guys don't... I appreciate you guys for sticking around with me this long, because damn. Armani Nude Blushes, they finally showed up at Sephora. Oh, I already saw that. Are out of stock. Poo. Dang it. What shade in the YSL lipstick? It was, I didn't even tell you. 13, it just says. 13. I haven't tried the new YSL spray, but I have the setting spray in the black packaging from the website. It's my favorite setting spray. Oh, shit! Thank you, Lauren. Oh, my God. I've heard some people... Wait, I have heard from some people that this pills and smell... What does? You guys are probably talking to each other, and I'm over here like, wait, what? What? I'm just being nosy and chiming into your conversations. Thank you, Kelly. Yes, if you guys are shopping the Sephora Holiday Savings event, even if it's not mine, shop your favorite creators' links if they're providing them for you in their description boxes. Because that shit takes a lot of time for one, but it's a free way for you guys to give back to your favorite creators. Just by simply clicking the link, it'll redirect you to either the product page or the Sephora website. Like, I have the US site and the Canadian site linked at the top of my description. And then I have all of my recommendations. They're all linked down below. There might be like a couple that I kind of added in last minute that might not be there. But even if you just click any link and it directs you to the Sephora site, you're good. Like, even if you don't buy that certain thing, like I said, it's just an easy way to give back to your favorite channels. I always tell you guys that. I'm like, shop the links, even if it's not mine. Like, it's cool. You don't have to shop mine. Oh, let's see. YSL All Hours Foundation is the bomb. The only drawback is the fragrance. I've heard that so many times, too. So many times. Yes, we love that for us. So I'm going to call it because we've been here for 2 hours and 22 minutes. So if you guys do have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. Make sure you guys check the comment section and the description box because the description box is already filled. I'll be having everything else linked in a pinned comment. And don't forget, too, if you guys didn't hear it earlier, I'm like, where is it? Don't forget this little giveaway. I'll keep it open until, what's today? What's today? I'm like looking at my calendar. I'll keep this open until the 11th. Like, it's not a huge giveaway, but you know what? Why not? If you guys want to enter this little giveaway, all you have to do is follow myself and Tower28 on Instagram and leave a comment down below after the video post of your top recommendation for the VIB sale and the best way to contact you, whether it's your Instagram handle, your email, whatever. So, couple things, no big. Other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy it. I do plan on being live tomorrow for my haul. So if you guys enjoyed yourselves, if you found this helpful, if you found it useful, if you thought it was stupid, whatever the hell you want to do, give it a thumbs up or thumbs it down. That's how we know what you guys like to see. Huge thank you to you guys. Huge thank you to Sephora. Huge thank you to Tower28 for sponsoring today's video. I'm so excited. Y'all know how much I love not only Sephora, but also Tower28. I was so excited to partner with Sephora to showcase Tower28 as a brand because I've loved them for so long. I'm like, literally, go back on my channel. I have a dedicated playlist to Tower 28. I love their stuff, so I really hope you guys do check out, especially this skin moment, okay? The tinted sunscreen. It's like 30 bucks. It's well worth the price. Again, if you're shopping the sale, I do have all my links down below. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, wherever the hell else I am. Other than that, I'll see you bitches tomorrow. Okay, bye!